pretty is not a
What's
thing.
happening to me?
I like to think I am pretty, so leave me alone.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting. All of my neighbors out of the
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
There's a secret sound hidden deep within the center of the earth. Until you listen closely enough, you can hear it. And it sounds like razors through flesh. We are merely here to turn up the volume.
And welcome to Chainer's Haunted Secrets. This is episode 1, and I am so glad to have everybody here. We have a special guest, Mia from Carnage Haunted House in Columbus, Ohio. And excuse me as I get so tongue-tied, but you know what? Usually I'm not the one that starts this off.
Welcome to host duties, man.
I
You
know,
are
right?
now.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
this is the first episode, right? So
It is. And I'm
Off to
going
a great
screw
start.
up. Yeah, I'm going to screw up multiple
He's,
times.
he's saying that he gets so tongue-tied because we have such an amazing guest tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? I think the world of her. Absolutely. If you guys have never been to Carnage Haunted House in Columbus, Ohio, please go see it. It is well worth the money. I love going through there. I've been a person that acts there. It is great.
It's amazing.
well, thank you. Come visit next weekend, the 22nd, 23rd, for our Easter event.
Absolutely. And
We've been talking that up
Yeah.
for weeks now.
I want to point something out about her haunt. If you go during the time where she has all the lights on and you get to see all the little tidbits, there are so many hidden Easter eggs all through there. I know where there's just so much in there, like the Book of the Dead. I love it. Oh, look. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start this off, and I'm going to go ahead and ask a few questions. Mia, are you ready?
As I ever shall be, Pyle, as I ever shall be.
So I got to know, me and you were talking before about this. I wasn't ever quite sure if you were a haunter before. So can you tell me a little about haunting before you were the owner?
So I've always been obviously a haunt enthusiast. Had my home all decked out back in the day. But in 2012, I actually started working for a haunt called the Haunted Hoorah up in, it was located in Ashley. And then they moved up to Marion, where they're at now. There was a span where they actually were closed for a while. But I started haunting actually in a haunt at that particular time. So started there and was there a few years. And when they had some issues with eminent domain on one of their buildings, a couple of us decided to take a drive to Netherworld. And on the way to Netherworld, Carnage was born. So after that, I happened to go to New Jersey I went to New Jersey and was visiting some friends. And oh my God, there was a haunt for sale. So I said, oh, I'm here. Let me go look. So I ended up buying that haunt with no place to put it. And 2016 is when we started. Actually, we came up with an idea, started looking for a building, and then 2017 we opened Carnage at another location from where I'm sitting, and Carnage was born.
Oh yeah.
And then, of course, we moved in 2019, bought the building that we're currently in, and oh my God, 2020 happened, and we were unable to open because you could not get a building permit through the entire city of Columbus until December of 2020. And so we were able to open in June of 2021. And we've been here since.
Nice.
So I do gotta apologize to everybody because I am a totally horrible host. And let me introduce
everybody
Dr.
else.
Friday and Dr. Raz and Ron. But
Anybody
I'm
that
terrible
watches the
because-
Owl Light Podcast Network is probably familiar with the rest of us
you
by
got
now. But
your
go ahead,
names
Pyle.
on it.
Yeah, but
There's a difference between being horrible and never doing it before. You are the second.
You're both. I'm joking.
You know,
He's a
I
host
told you
hazard.
guys. I told you guys I was going to mess up, but I'll get this down. But
It's only a live show, man. No big deal.
yeah, I
Right.
know, right? We
You
can
don't
just
think here's
roll
that?
back
It's
time.
not like there's people watching or anything.
Yeah, there's not at all multiple people watching the show already.
So, but I apologize. I am bad at doing that. I'll learn. So, anybody have any questions, or am I messing up even more?
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh,
Oh no!
We lost me.
Oh, we lost Mia.
Probably had to go to the bathroom. Commercial break.
We can't play him this early.
Wow. All
We're good,
right,
we got-
show's over. Everybody go home.
Technical issue. She is inside of a building though, with lots of materials. So
Right.
sometimes the signals aren't as good as they could be. That happens to us all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
right.
One of the things about Carnage I just absolutely love is that it's inside and it's so much room. Oh,
I'm back.
and she returns.
Hooray!
And I thought it was just that bad.
No, I hit a button.
I do this all the time. I just scream wrong lever every time I come back in.
I'm old. There was something I looked at down here and I was like, oh, it's trying to have me look at something. And I was like, okay, so I hit a button and then I went poof. So
It happens.
what I
very
missed.
frequently.
We were talking
I was-
about you. It was all good though.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Oh, well, it's all right. It's not the first time nor the last. People will say shit. We're good.
Mia went MIA.
I did. I went missing in action. I did.
But yeah.
Brandon, bite me.
You're not so far away that she just can't get up and kill you, man. Like you might want to.
Okay, so I could grab his daughter. She's real close, but I think he's went in the men's room. That wouldn't stop me, trust me. But yeah, he just he's popping in with these little snide little remarks. It's your dad.
Are you
Yeah, I
at
love it.
Carnage right now, Mia? Are you at Carnage right now?
Yes.
Hey, could you
Well,
shut the wall
obviously
behind
there's a big ass. I don't have that in my living room, so yes.
I couldn't see the background very well behind you.
Oh,
That's cool.
it's the okay.
So this is like
So,
Yes,
live on the scene.
live on the scene at Carnage Haunted House.
oh, so you do more than just your.
Did you
haunt
introduce
during-
everybody else? Did I miss that?
No, he did. He
I
he
got to that
was
part
just
yet.
like,
Okay.
and this is this person, that person, that person.
Well,
It was
okay.
just like
explain that
an
to the
introduction is just rattling through the names really quickly, but it works. It works.
Well,
So you didn't get
know
a
what?
background on all these people, so it's just looking to read what the names are.
I mean, we're also on like a bunch of other shows on the network. We have like 8 other shows, so like
Well,
hopefully
you
people
know.
will see us enough to know that who we are. If
All right,
not,
Jenny,
then
go
I'm
ahead.
Okay.
Introduce yourself. Let's move this along.
Yeah, go
Hi.
ahead, Raz. Introduce yourself,
Oh,
or
I'm
or Jenny.
I think
Already
the
off
introduction ship has sailed, my friend.
Yeah, no,
I
We're
believe
good.
people know who we are, and we want to know who Mia is, and I want her
Yeah.
to tell me about her
Good Lord.
graveyard.
Yay.
My graveyard. All right, what do you want? Is that where we're going? The graveyard. So the graveyard here is it is about 3,000 square feet itself. It is a above the ground New Orleans style graveyard. There are 25 above the ground full size tombs. And so we have some things that pop out, some drop panels, and you meander your way through.
Sounds
So-
awesome.
Might be one of my favorite sections of your haunt. I'm a big graveyard scene fan, and every time I'm going to that scene, I always walk a little bit slower than I normally do. And I swear I still see a couple new details every time. There's something I hadn't caught before. So it's like the
Well,
kind
maybe
of
it's
space you
because
guys can
we
go through.
actually add things also all the time.
Yeah. I suggest you
Yeah.
guys pay to go through this multiple times each season. So just so you have enough time to like catch all the details everywhere, but like especially in the graveyard, man, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's the thing about the graveyard is the attention to detail. It is like extremely detailed.
It's the best
with
I've ever
the,
seen.
With the fencing that runs through it that creates the maze, just the sheer length of time it took to actually build it up to what it is. Even if you were to take all of the props out of it, it would still look freaking amazing. It looks
Right.
like as if you were walking through a New Orleans graveyard.
Oh yeah.
It's just, and even all of the texture, just all of the lighting, everything in there. I think you even have a fog machine that does a low level fog on the floor and all of that. So I mean, it's just the whole attention to detail is spectacular. I mean, to me,
Or if
that's
you're
like
through our
part of what-
Christmas, we throw snow at you over,
right?
for Christmas too there. So,
or an
but we
elf.
do it.
Or an elf. I had an elf attack me in December.
When else attack?
Or fireworks. Sometimes we do that.
But yeah, I mean, it is absolutely, and you break your haunt into two sections, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
The bayou and the entity
okay,
are the two different sections.
And soon to be 3, if you ever get the hotel up and running.
Oh, the hotel has changed. It will not be a hotel now.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Nice.
So yeah, it's just I'm in the city of Columbus, so there's a lot of permitting, and there's another about 8,000 square feet to build, and I've got primarily all of the decor for it. It's just the 9,000 square foot amount of plywood, 2x4s, and everything else
Building
that costs
So
a little bit of money.
Give us a little bit
So-
of background about the building itself and how you managed to acquire so much space.
This was a 50-lane bowling alley called Eastland Lanes. It's been here 41 years, was the bowling alley. I purchased the building at the end of 2019. It's one of those things, bowling started fizzling out, so not many people were coming. And so that's why he put it on the market to sell. I am not in the best of neighborhoods, not in the worst either, but so that's probably the reason why we got the building. But we literally had to clear out all 50 lanes of bowling lanes, and where the actual the lower level, because I'm not sure if anybody knows how a bowling alley actually is set up. There's the concourse area, which is the carpeted, which ours is the very festive glow in the dark, obviously a bowling alley carpet, or a skating rink, because it's very festive. And then there is a 4-inch step down from when you actually left the concourse. You would actually step down where your table would be sitting. And then there is an additional step down where the approach was, and the approach was the beige laminated floor, And then there's actually an additional step down where the actual floor of the where the bowling lanes are, because you have to have the return that goes underneath the lanes and brings it up. So there's multiple step downs. So we had to actually tear out where all the lanes were at. We have 2 areas that still have the approach that is still intact, but where the actual haunt itself is on the actual concrete floor. That made any sense, because we had to tear out all of the lanes, and it's 50 lanes. So it's a little about 356 feet in length. And and then we built it with obviously the egress all the way around it. And then where the pin setters, and that is basically where the end of the haunt is as far as width-wise. So it was an old ass bowling alley. So we do have a full commercial kitchen, which I have not been able to get up and running yet. There's a full bar, which I will not be selling alcohol ever.
Thank you for that.
Because to me, I mean, I know it's an additional revenue strain, but it's just too much, especially in the location where we're at and the liability. Plus, I could never find insurance if I tried to sell alcohol.
Then there's that does it. I'm sorry. Good.
Yeah, there are. And
they
around
don't
here,
always go the greatest, because they have to pay a lot of extra for security. And I've seen it work okay, but I've never seen it where it works so well. It was like, oh my god, I have to do this.
Well, I mean, I've talked to a couple of different haunt owners, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we get extra revenue," and I'm like,
"The money's good, sure.
The money's good, but I mean, that is just too much for me, especially, we have a lot of teenagers around here, and I'm just like not willing to deal with that."
He suggests touring it as well. Can we pause here for a second? If you guys would like to be in the lottery to win the Carnage tickets, please type #Carnage in the comments.
Brandon, don't you dare
win a ticket. Now, if you are part of the team, you are automatically out, and Brandon's part of the team.
And Mia will catch
Brandon,
you.
You're fired.
Yeah, Mia will catch you if you're cheating.
I will find him
appropriately.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the giveaway is basically me and Pyle are going to pick you up in a van and harass you and harangue you for a while, and then take you to the haunt.
No. My haunt would not be as scary as that, because oh my god, that would be terrifying.
We can only hope. But we got to set the stage for them, so they get the Carnage. They're already terrified, so they can tell everybody, "Oh my god, you got to go to Carnage."
I mean, no, we'd have to put them in the first aid room, because God forbid they'd be like too traumatized.
Well, they've got to sign an NDA, so they can't mention that their terror has anything to do with me and Pyle, so it'll all be attributed to Carnage only.
Brandon said he wants to win just for Ponderosa.
Ponderosa, I'm down for Ponderosa.
Raz and Pyle will kidnap you in their van, and they're both going to be shirtless, and then you have to decide which is scarier, Raz and Pyle shirtless or the haunt.
Wow.
I will sing.
Boy, this went dark.
I will sing "I Feel Pretty" on a loop for 20 minutes. Just just get out.
So the way that we are actually doing that ride is, we have to be able to meet you at Dayton to pick you up, and then we'll take you the rest of the way to Carnage. If you choose to just drive there, we'll make sure that
would be the best option
for you guys.
This is the safest for you, maybe for everybody.
Safest.
Nice. See?
I'm waiting in shirtless.
That's
shirtless
something that we want to make sure that you guys get an opportunity. If you want to hang out with us, we're going to be there on Friday, and we're going to spend some time, and we're going to even go and promote her haunt even a little more, because I'll tell you what, her haunt is amazing. I can't say enough about your haunt. But let's get back to more questions.
More questions.
What else would you like to know?
So much.
What is the wing speed velocity of a laden swallow?
So I've talked to you about this before.
Sorry.
My question for you a while back was, Do you have a clown area?
No,
Why not?
I hate them. I hate
We were just discussing this before you joined
So
us.
okay,
actually.
I have on my concourse. I do have a couple of like a photo opportunity with some clowns. I do also have a psych patient that actually thinks he's a clown, so he does a little clown thing. I had bought at the previous location. We did have a room that was a clown room. So I had bought a poison prop clown dropper, so I had to put it somewhere. So he's in the psych room and he pops out of a closet, but that is the only clown. Clowns, I mean, everybody has clowns. Everybody has chainsaws. Everybody has clowns. I don't want to be everybody.
We were talking
I
about
just,
this before you came in, like before you came backstage, and I was mentioning how I get a lot of shit for this. I'm kind of anti-clown. I'm not anti all clowns. It's just clowns are like one of those things that a lot of newbies want to be. Like Amelia,
so I do
need
like,
to be a clown.
I mean, we do have them occasionally. We have them on the concourse. I mean, I have a 7-foot
Right.
clown.
Right.
You know, and he stands as a mannequin. He's legitimately 7 feet tall. I have a gentleman who stands there as a clown.
Yeah.
And people think he's on stilts or he's fake because of his height, and he will scare you.
Right.
I just don't. I'm not a big fan of like having a full clown area. The 3D black light. I mean, obviously, behind me is a 3D black light, but it's not clowns.
Yeah.
But I just, you know, I've never been a super fan of it. Been through a lot of haunts, and a lot of times all the clown areas are very similar. And I mean, there's not that much creativity, I think, and people will be like, "Oh, but my clown's different." You know,
You hear that, Fred? Shots fired, man.
I want to I want to point out the person that plays the psych patient that says I'm a clown. He is my favorite. When it comes down to that section, he is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
I look forward to seeing him. And please explain to everybody how much lipstick he goes through.
he goes through 6 tubes of lipstick a night. And primarily all he does is draw around his mouth and go, "I'm a clown." And just continues to draw, you know, a circular motion of a bright ass red lipstick around his mouth for 5 hours a night. So the entire month of September, October, and into November, he's stained. He's just got some red lips. But he goes through about 6 tubes of lipsticks a night. Just
He did
drawing
tell us
it.
a story in a video chat a lot of us were in at one point where the brand and the type of lipstick had gotten changed and it stained even worse, and it was still stained for months after.
Yes, so the Dollar Tree brand's not a good buy. You know, that one, you know, the cheaper, that shit don't go away. That stuff was bad. Yeah. So the little more bougie kind, you know, it's $2 a tube versus the, you know, $1 quarter. That stains
75
so
cents makes the difference.
yeah, it is bad. It's bad. And if there's some glitter in it, oh my God, that's even better. No, it's bad. And then, of course, there's lipstick everywhere in the room.
Yeah, I have a question for you. Getting back to something that you said earlier, that Carnage was born as you were on your way down to Netherworld. Was that before or after you had gone to New Jersey and saw the haunt for sale?
Before. So
Okay.
we started driving down there, and then, you know, I'm on my phone looking, and, you know, and it was all fresh in my mind, and lo and behold, Terror Town was for sale in New Jersey. So happened to be there. I can't remember. It was a graduation when I have family in Connecticut, so I was actually in Connecticut. So I was like, oh, New Jersey, it's like 35 minutes away. I'll drive there. And I bought it. So
So you were on your way down the Netherworld. You saw the Terrortown was for sale, and is that what sparked the
no,
idea
actually,
for Carnage? How did that conversation go?
no. The conversation was let's start our own haunt, and so we decided to do that, and it was just what is the best way to start a haunt? It's to look for pieces and parts that are already put together, or already, the walls are already distressed and everything of that nature to start, to give us basically a frame to work with. And so we were just looking, driving, and happened to see that it was for sale, and then happened to be in the area the following week and was like, let's go look. Ended up buying it, and then the fun began of they had 3 tractor trailers filled with items, and then there was 2 U-Hauls that came back from New Jersey to Ohio.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So
And
how much of the haunt now was what you bought from Terrortown, and how much is what you've added on to it since you started building?
I mean, to be honest with you, we do have some things that are still from Terrortown as far as the walls, but they used 1x3s for their walls. So we were like, no, it wasn't as structurally sound as what we wanted, or our builder wanted. Ralphie, he was like, no, we need solid walls that will not fall apart. But they had the gentleman had a lot of like taxidermy, a lot of old furniture, lots of old things that we've incorporated and still have here. But to be honest with you, right now we probably have 20% left of what we got from Terrortown as far as walls, because everything had to be rebuilt and restructured to make it more sound. We still have
And then
some
you had
pieces
to move.
The move.
I'm sure a lot of things you had to change with that, and a haunt's got to evolve constantly. So you're always changing in, changing out.
I mean, when we threw up things, it was Terrortown. There was a couple of scenes that we they had a big barber scene at Terrortown, so we utilized some of their walls and things for their barbershop. But now I have a very small little, basically storefront that is the barber shop, whereas the one we had over at the other location was a walkthrough type thing. They had a lot of items that, I mean, we repurposed. It's better pay to work, but it became it was a good starting base, if that makes sense. Because besides Terrortown, the Haunted Orchard, which was in Worcester, Ohio.
Been there.
Yeah, I ended up acquiring everything from there that we could take, and then just picking in parts of other haunts.
That's interesting to me that you got this stuff from the orchard. I went. I think it was the last year they were open. They'd done this big Groupon thing. And me and my wife went all the way from Dayton all the way down. It took us forever to get there, and it was this bad storm, like bad. And they take you in the bus up to the top of the hill to have you walk down through the orchard and all this crazy stuff. And the mud is so bad, they're like, listen, we can drive you down to the bottom, but we're not going to refund your money. Or you can just walk down. And me and Michelle were like, well, screw that. We're going to walk down through this thunderstorm, because what's cooler than, going through an outside haunt, like in a thunderstorm, until the mud got so bad, you're like sliding down like whole sections of things.
So did you go into the apple picking area, the building that you actually had to go through that actually was the indoor portion of it?
So we were in that part as well. We did end up going through that as well, yeah, because it was a little easier.
That's actually primarily where I got most of my stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, because the outdoor stuff they had a lot of Spirit Halloween
It was a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of, hey, let's buy a facade from Spirit. It's cardboard. It's not going anywhere. But they had some unique things in there that we still do have here as well. There's actually 3 tombstones that actually have the haunts that we've acquired.
Nice.
So, but
And about the tombstones, like each tombstone has an individual name on it, and each one of those names represents something. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
so there are people who have worked in the haunt who actually built things. One of the builder, like my last name's in it, Mike's last name's in it, Brandon's last name's in it, Ralphie's last name's in it. Some of the actors that helped build, their names are on the haunt, on the tombs as well. And then there's some made up ones. There is actually an Easter egg in there. So one of the names.
Tell us about the Easter eggs.
In every room there is a movie Easter egg, and so if it's just like a movie reference piece. So like in our first room, I'll give that one away. You walk in and it's our voodoo area, and if you look around, you'll find the book for the recently deceased, as well as the shrunken head that is actually from Beetlejuice. So you look around and you just can find just a movie reference piece, and it's not all horror movies. There's everything from Harry Potter to Cars 3, and some TV shows, and it's just a little thing that's, people don't win anything for looking. It's just a little, it's mostly for haunters, because let's be realistic, we go into haunts. Do we get scared? 9 out of 10 times? No. Do we look around and spend extra time in every room? Absolutely. Do we want to see what people have done? I may have the same prop as any other haunt, and I might think of something different than anybody else. So, and creativity wise, I'm open for anybody to come up with an idea and roll with it. So
whose idea was it to do the Easter eggs? Because that was
mine.
Really great idea.
Yeah, that was mine. That was something that even at the old haunt we had done, and at the end in our gift shop area there is a list of them all. Nobody's ever found them all. I've got some real tiny things in there that I walk in and go, where the hell did I put that thing? And then we actually have a couple that I've actually walked away. I have a really cool little critter from the movie Critters, and somebody swiped him, so now Chucky's there. But
that breaks my heart. I love Critters. Like, the first time Fred explained to me that you guys did that, I was like, oh really? So I went through, and I drive him nuts because he'll stop and look at stuff, but like he's still 10 times faster than I am coming out of a room. And we got to the end, he said, tell me what you remember from the rooms. And I just started rattling off all the things that I had seen, and he's not letting me look at the list. And he looks at me and goes, you only missed 3. I'm like, there was 3 that I missed. Where were they?
I have more that I'm actually need to. I have a couple more that I'm going to swap things out. So,
hell yeah, I love that. I absolutely love that you guys did. It's one of my favorite things that I've ever seen in a haunt.
Well,
I love your first room.
The fourth room.
The first room.
First room.
Angela's cabin.
She does a wonderful job every single time. So she grabs your attention, and if you don't get your attention on her, she gets it back on her, because I've been in that room so many times, and I've looked up, and there was this jar, and me and her joke about it, because it's like, what is that? And she goes, what's what? You're supposed to be focusing to me. I've seen you multiple times. What is that in the jar? And she goes, I don't know. It was like eels or something.
It's Beastcraft made a prop that it's a jar of eels, and it just spins, and it's a cool piece. It's just like basically a jar. It's like an aquarium of spinning eels.
That's
so cool, man.
Yeah, she's very good at what she does. She's got this whole spiel that she has written and memorized, and she's got a long version of it and a short version of it. And she's
our gatekeeper. We actually ended up she is actually the control factor. Now we have a little thing where she'll hit a button and it'll let our front room, which is where we have people lined up, it'll know that she's ready for you. So a little green light pops out of it into a tree, and it lets us know that the next group can come down. But she's the gatekeeper. She literally, we can have her give a 2-minute spiel or welcome to the bayou. Here, the curse has begun, and go. To like a 40-second one, 30-second, and when we get like super busy. But she is amazing. She comes up with, she decorates and changes things up in her room accordingly. She's the one comes up with the storyboards and the story and the rhymes and literally she says something different for each holiday. She comes up with her own makeup. She does her own makeup. And if you've never been there, the lights pop out, black light pops on, and her makeup completely changes from, one to another. And, she is amazing.
She really is.
Agreed.
She impressed me. She came
And
up
she's
to
all
me.
of like 4'10". I mean, she's like this tiny little.
She's like, she always focuses and picks on the tallest person in the room every time there's a new group in.
Yep.
She honored me last time because me and my son came on Valentine's, your guys' Valentine's Day stuff. And she looks at me and she goes, "Do you see my face?" I said, "I do see your face." And she looks at me and she goes, "I tried to make it look like your face, but you look better." And I said, "Okay," because my character, he actually wears a face shield on half of his on his half of his face, and she actually made it look like she had that design on her face. And I told her, I said, "You know what? That is like the biggest compliment somebody could give me." She looked at me and she goes, "We love you around here, and if they don't love you, I'll put a curse on them." And you know what? My wife that popped in, she absolutely said it. Raven absolutely loves her. She does TikTok, and every time she pops up, Raven sees it and goes, "That's my friend. That's my friend. She's from Carnage. She's my friend."
Yep, she's amazing. I'll see her in like about an hour, so I'll have to say something.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
we love her to death.
Absolutely. So as you're going through the bayou and you're going through different stuff, I'm impressed because I did not know up to this year you guys are actually wheelchair accessible.
Mm-hmm. We are 100% wheelchair accessible. So we made it so that I mean, last year we had a young man in one of those big boy motorized monstrosities, complete with headlights. And I mean, this thing had a flag coming off the back of it. It was ginormous. And he managed to get through everything. And that was the best time he ever had because he loves haunted houses, but he's never able to go through them. Because, at our old location, we had a couple areas that I had to have bypasses because we couldn't get people, we didn't think it out so that we can make it 100% wheelchair accessible. And at the old location, we had like a couple areas that split off and they got to see something different than the other patrons. I didn't think that was fair. We didn't think it was fair. So we decided to make it 100%. Everybody gets the same show.
I absolutely love that. And there was the Haunted Angelus house over in Indiana that did that for a while. And unfortunately, they just had to shut their doors. And they were like the oldest company. Their location in Indiana and Florida that were wheelchair accessible. And for the first while at Hell's Dungeon, we were too. And then the elevator broke. And let me tell you, fixing an elevator... that costs lots and lots and lots of money.
Yeah, you can't get down now. You can't get down into your haunt. I have a hell of a time going down the stairs. I mean that's pretty steep, but
yeah, I'm doing it multiple times a night, like and during build season, like sometimes like 10 to 15 times a day, and just one way up. I'm like, it takes me 10 minutes to like get up the nerve to be like, okay, I'm going back down. It's a tough one.
If somebody would be thinking about starting a haunt, what advice could you or would you give them?
think very long and hard and actually talk to a shit ton of people before you make that mistake. Make that financial
Burden.
yes. That expenditure, massive expenditure. I mean, when you go in thinking you're going to spend this much, multiply it by 100, and then figure out because things pop up every time. Get a game plan. Talk to people. Understand fire systems. Understand building permits. Understand and learn about the advertising. Learn about every single thing that'll pop up and bite you, because when you're thinking, oh, I went initially at the first location that we got, I went in and I talked to the zoning committee and they were like, oh yes, you shouldn't have a problem, everything will be fine. I said, okay, signed on the dotted line, was leasing a place for 3 years. Turned out it was not, occupancy was not a thing that they were allowing me, because the firewall between suite A and suite B was not done correctly. The fire system that was in there was not adequate enough. And that just became, I had to have a fire watch for the entire time we were at the other location. There's a lot of research that needs to be done before anybody, especially if it's an indoor haunt. Outdoor haunts, that may be your way to, that may be the way to go if you want an outdoor trail with, specific small buildings that people can go through. But then again, some places, the building only needs to be, 999 square feet. Some of it's 300 square feet. It depends on where you're trying to put your place at. Each county is different. Franklin County, tough place to have a haunt, because literally my fire system, I was at one place and I had to move it over here and had to add more bells and whistles here, just because of how things change. So my best recommendation, do your research and research for a long period of time, and don't be unrealistic in thinking, oh, I have $100,000 and I'm going to open a big ass haunt and it's going to, that's not going to.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
So if you knew then what you know now, of course, that begs the question, if you knew then what you know now, would you still have done it? Would you still have gone through with it?
Probably not to this degree. I would have changed things up and done things differently. I would not be in the county that I'm in, even though we have a high, we got more per capita as far as people. It's a good town to be in as far as number of people here. There's colleges here. Ohio State is here. There's a lot of places around, but very difficult.
Right.
Been easier in a county over or two.
Yeah.
So that would be the thing I'd do, the research, because not a fan.
Actually, I have a question for you. So there are actually, there's a few haunts over there in Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard you talk about this in the past before, so I know some of the answers to this already. But is there a lot of interaction between the haunts? Like, do you guys work together at all? Do you promote each other, or is it just sort of you go your way, I go mine?
It depends. It depends on the haunt. Yes, there are some haunts around that we do work with. Otherwise, we just go our own way. I don't. The smaller haunts, because we're basically a smaller to mid-size haunt. We will work together. Some of the larger ones that have been there for a really long extended period of time. They have their own group, and we don't really work with them. So, but we do work with, some smaller groups that are trying to break in to be big boys.
Oh yeah.
She works with ours.
Yeah, definitely.
She works with ours. I can't say enough about her assisting and giving me ideas and this and that. And the one thing that she went through my haunt, she looked at it and she goes, I like it. It's quiet. Fix it. I mean, she's blunt. She tells you exactly the way she feels. She's a wonderful person to work with. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And I took that and I said, you know what? I wonder what I'm going to play. And we just played crickets and subtle music.
You're outside. You need some noise.
Right. And the thing is, her haunt is so amazing because it actually has something that I won't put in mine, and it smells. She absolutely brings you to a new level and just traps you in there. And you even get sprayed by a skunk.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I ain't the word for it. You go through and you're like, oh, look at that. Ah!
Yeah. I can also attest to this because, well, not the skunk part, but like the working together part. I mean, we've gotten amazing feedback from you for Hell's Dungeon, and I like the way you handle things because I'm a very blunt person that has no filter, and when people approach me in different ways, I get confused and I don't know how to take them. But like when you just look me in the face and say, Raz, do this now. That sucks. Do that. I'm like, well, yeah, okay, cool. I know what to do. I know how to, input that information. And when people kind of, I guess the term is pussyfoot around the situation, they don't want to give you direct information. No one learns from that. No one gets better from passive aggressiveness or anything else. Like the direct approach.
I mean, it took me a long time, but I'm old. So I basically have come to the conclusion that you know what? I'm just going to say what I need to say. Because if not, you're not going to get across, and then I don't have time for that.
Yep. Time is short. Time is money, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take criticism. People can call me everything and and they do. And I don't care. But, well, hello.
It's Sean.
It took you being on for Sean to actually show up to one of our shows, even though we've only been doing this for 9 months.
Hey, guys.
Long time no see,
Sean. If you guys would like to win tickets to Carnage, please put #Carnage in the comments to be entered in the
Sean's actually worked my haunt. He helped me out when we had a small problem in my parking lot, about 200 children fighting in my parking lot, which is why we ended up raising our age limit to 18, or anybody under needs to bring an adult, because people used to actually just this used to be a bowling alley. Parents would drop their kids off. Kids would come in here for hours. There was an arcade. There was a daycare. Well, parents kept doing that. And this was, we had one. It was bad. I mean, we do even hire police as well. And the police were like just standing there going, wow, there's a lot. And we had,
we call that the Kings Island law, because even they had to a couple years ago start enforcing that and putting up, and they do too. Like even if you just look a year underage, like they're bringing out the, hey, we need to card you. Can you do this? Can you do that?
Great night.
Great night.
Great night.
What has been your favorite haunt scene, either as a patron or as the owner of the haunt?
In my haunt or anywhere?
Any haunt. Whichever is your favorite that you've either seen or done or both.
Hell's Gate. Their opening scene when they're well, not their opening scene, but where you actually get into where the mother is, and she goes flying over your head, and you're going into a fireplace. That was a great scene for that. Also, I really love the USS Nightmare. I got to see there for the first time, and I went through their like experience. And it's the one that you get like a glow stick. I don't know what they call it. It's like their extreme, I guess, touch. Oh, I to this day, I can't figure out how in the hell our group got split and half the group saw one experience and the other half saw another experience. And I was in escape rooms and I'm like, what the hell? I mean, and it's on a boat.
Yeah.
Right.
Insane.
It's
I mean,
intense.
those are like two that stand out right at, the top of my, there's other ones that I'll be like, ooh, but in my haunt, my favorite would be in the voodoo area. I mean, I'm partial to we've got a pond in here, so I'm partial to the fact that we've got running water.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that because you've got a couple of really unique props or things that I haven't seen in other haunts or seen in very limited instances in other haunts. I think you're the only haunt that I've ever seen that actually has a full-size boat in your haunt.
Yep.
And
I got a couple.
I haven't seen many haunts that actually have a water area and a bridge that goes over it. So can you tell us a little bit about that, how the building of that went?
Oh, that was interesting. Obviously that was a huge planned out because we built with concretes, we went to try to make a small pool. So we tried to facilitate like making a pool with a water pump, and basically we ended up having to redo that concrete multiple times because that was a learning curve and experience. Trying to use the lining, we ended up doing a liner in some areas, but that would be the way to go because we still have cracks right now in our concrete that sometimes leak, and we used pool sealant, Flex Seal. I've become very, very, very familiar with Flex Seal. Because in case you don't know, it comes in like containers, like actually pint containers where a heavy ass goop you can put on, tubes, tape. I think we've used every conceivable different variation of Flex Seal. And we're still leaking in some areas, but that build, it took quite a long time to actually make the concrete pool. It's about 6 inches deep when it's fully filled. But we have a pool pump, and we also have an area where it recycles the water that goes up. So it goes over the top of a building. It comes out of the ceiling, and then it actually comes out of we have it piped over, so it drops down into a gutter. So it comes out of the gutter of the cabin. So there's a water feature. That's what the water feature is. It was a nightmare to build.
Yeah.
That was like a very long. That was long. Just trying to figure out how to build it, make it not leak. Because we had all these great ideas. Oh, we're going to use this pool sealant, and then there was a silicone sealant that went over, and then when we tried to have an actor in the water, that got scuffed up. So
yeah,
it's still, but yeah. But it's basically a part of the bayou.
Out of all of the props that you have, which was the hardest for you to obtain, or which one are you most proud of?
I'll say my Yeti, Bigfoot.
I love that thing so much.
That thing is amazing, and I did not know. First time going through your haunt, I had no idea that thing was there, and I was just amazed at the lightning and everything you guys had all surrounding in that area, and even the fish creature coming out of the water. So when that thing actually split the branches and started shaking and this and that, it caught me off guard, and I was like, well, that's an animatronic. That's not, hopefully that is, but it just caught me so far. I didn't know what I was looking at.
Super tall. It's a Beastcraft, and it is their Bigfoot. And so we ended up with the prototype of that. It was one piece.
Holy crap.
And yeah, Dustin got a hold of me and he said, hey, I don't want to dismantle this. He, it was a good deal for it. He's like, I'll come and I'll deliver it. And because it's one piece, it could not shift. It's like 12 and a half, 13 feet tall. And it was one piece. He ended up having it in the back of a trailer laying down in a sling. So it, in order to transport it. And obviously that was one of the first props that came into this new building. Because
once it's said,
that's not traveling between scenes.
I mean, we got the boat in here. We have a full size boat in here. We've got a full size Amish carriage in here. We've got smaller boats in here. But yeah, that big monstrosity was to get him inside and put him in place because he ain't moving. I mean, as long as Carnage is there, that prop will be staying there. So we might be able to do some stuff around it, but Christmas time, we put a Christmas tie on him and, he might have Easter ears on it this year. We don't know, but
awesome.
we do a little decorating to him because he ain't moving. So
there is one thing in your haunt, and I'm just amazed by it because
there's more than one thing, Pyle, but that's okay. What do you need?
There's one item in particular, and it's actually a picture of you.
Oh God. Yep. Yep, there is. I call it the scariest picture in the haunt. Because back in the early 70s, my parents made me sit for this bitch. And I'm in a little pretty dress, and I will never forget sitting for that it felt like days. It was probably hours. And having a portrait done of me. And I think I was about 6 or 7. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, but both my parents have passed away. So what do you do with a portrait of yourself?
Right.
It ain't going in my house because why? So, bring it to the haunt. I mean, right. So it's in my, hallway of portraits. My mom's up there. My dad's in the hospital, in the hotel hospital, not the hospital. He passed away like 13 years ago, but picture of him. So, sup, Brandon? Who said that?
There's a little love connection between Sean and Brandon right now.
Oh, are there?
Yeah.
Oh, you have no idea about that love connection.
I've heard stories. Remember, Brandon, Sean is married to me. We got married year 1 when I was Beetlejuice. There was a whole ceremony and everything, and Sean still owes me a honeymoon.
But do you have a cup with him for a Valentine? No, God.
I've heard about that.
I took a photo, so
I've not seen the photo.
Oh,
I'm gonna get with you on that.
Yes, and Brandon decided to put it on a cup with all extra photos. It's extra.
I need to hide this photo, not hide it, but put it in the haunt somewhere where it's going to take Sean a couple times of walking through to notice that it's there. But I'll wait until the season starts to put it up. That way people can see it first.
Do we have other versions, or is it just that one, Brandon? No, but do we have other photos of him in compromising positions with you behind him?
Up too.
Oh, okay. We'll have to recreate it over here. Do another haunt where.
I'll bring my video camera through so we can just get it on film and make it some little short film of just the two of them.
Huh? Yeah, you don't want to film that. That I will tell you, that was an experience. Huh? That was at Stillwell, wasn't it? It was at Stillwell Manor. Yep.
That is awesome.
Yep. I ended up getting whipped that night.
Ooh,
I did. What was that event? It was a Valentine's Day event. Holy crap, they had whips. And they were like, they had prostitutes coming after us with.
Oh, now I want to go.
It was. Oh, it was. It was a lot, and people got felt up and shoved down, and Brandon got his way with Sean. So yeah, that was.
It's like the Haunter's motto: "Don't threaten me with a good time."
Oh, it was.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't remember. That was fun. So, but it was definitely a something.
The comments.
This is Allight After Dark.
Yes.
Well, let's have
So much fun.
Go there.
Yeah, that is.
Yes, Sean had his way with Brandon.
Hold on, I got some music for this. Hold on.
We've hit our halfway mark. Two things. A, please put hashtag Carnage in the comments, and we're going to have our commercial break, and we will be back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, my phone's going to die, so it's at 23%, but we'll see.
Oh.
The hell kind of commercial was that anyway?
Kids Network.
Greetings and shabebans. We are the Retro Reductibus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Well, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Steve's trying to say is that on Retro Redoctopus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Door King Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Redoctopus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
And we're back.
Well, I'm walking, so hang on.
That fake
I needed to plug in.
Yeah, the first commercial is for Fakor Publishing, who puts up with like half of our network. They put our books out. They're amazing. And the second one was for Retro Redoctopus, an amazing podcast that's part of the same network we are.
Hang on.
So
Sean says
I decided that I
muted.
was going to put some wonderful rabbit ears on because Mia is going to have her Easter egg hunt through her haunt.
Oh, wow.
And you know what? It's a great haunt to go through. Absolutely. And you know what? You just might see me with these bunny ears that Friday.
Oh, yeah. But be careful because owls eat rabbits. So, you got to watch out.
They eat mice too.
That's also true.
Yeah.
And you know what, Brandon? I know that Sean cheated on me with you, but just remember, you're the side piece, buddy.
We have like drama developing in the chat. This is crazy.
I love you guys. Seriously, this is awesome.
Okay, where the hell they go? Oh, there I am. Okay.
She's back.
We see you.
I have to plug in. I'm down to 20%. Huh?
Oh no.
Oh no, she's digitizing.
The show goes until Mia's phone dies.
Well, Mia goes until Mia's phone, guys. We still have to finish the rest of the show.
Am I on for now?
Yeah, we can see you.
We see you and hear you.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, good.
But
So, okay, you go, Pyle.
you got a question? Go for it.
What has been your favorite experience in haunting?
That's a big question.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big
Loading.
question. I mean, I love the conventions. I love love the business for the most part. I mean, it's a whole different, realm, I guess. I don't know. It's weird shit. I don't know.
It's the
I
people
don't.
we meet along the way.
It's people. I mean, I enjoyed acting. I mean, the reason why I started acting is because my mom had been diagnosed with dementia, and I needed something to get my brain off of that. So I actually went to a haunt to start working at because I just needed some cathartic scaring, because there is nothing better than making a grown-ass man piss himself or shit himself.
We talk a lot about one of the greatest things about haunt is it's free therapy.
It is. And that's literally the reason why I started working at a haunt, was because of that.
Now
It's
you
also
are
family.
You are the haunt owner, and I know as a haunt owner, you're usually running in a million different directions, taking care of stuff and working most of the night. But do you still get an opportunity to act? Do you still act when you can?
We on a
You were
haunt.
acting when I went
Do we
through.
have actors that show up all the time? Come on.
Man.
Yeah. About that, Mia.
You were acting, last time I was there, you were acting. I got to actually see you act in the scene for a little bit until you had to run. But I did get to see you.
What the hell was I doing in that show? What was I?
Oh my god. It was like a baby doll type character. Like I remember, like it was real quick. You literally only acted for like a couple groups because it was one of the nights with the haunters. We were all coming through as haunters and stuff like this past October. You were in there so briefly, and by the time I saw you again afterwards, you were changed back into normal clothes.
I do that.
Remember what
So obviously some actors need their 9-hour smoke break. Or the 45-minute I've got to leave and come back. But yes, I get to pop in and out. I mean, there obviously are I've got people that work here that I couldn't run this play. I couldn't do without. So that gives me the opportunity to sometimes, I need to go act. Let me go scream at somebody, or let me go crawl around on the floor, or, I've fallen and I can't get up. So, I've got a great core group of people that, I mean, you can't run a haunt without people next to you as, your board of directors or whatever you want to call them, your go-to people. It's not a one-man. It's so not a one-man show. It is. It's a team. There's a team that it takes to create it, and a team that you can trust. And that takes a while to come up with that as well.
Oh yeah.
Who is
We had
someone
a
that
side group. We had a side group for a while that was just called Fred's Bitches. It wasn't management. It was just a group below that would just show up and do a bunch of stuff, and that's what it got changed to.
Fred's Bitches. I could see that.
So, who is someone that takes a lot of stress off of you?
Or someone that puts a lot of stress on you.
It depends on what stress are we talking. I mean, Andrew Kerber, he handles like all the actors, putting them in spots. and basically he's the haunt's open. Oh shit, who do I go to? Anything breaks, anything needs built, anything, that's, obviously Ralphie. Brandon handles all the animatronics. Oh shit, that goes down. He's our Carnage character. He's also, oh shit, something broke. There's, Mike handles, oh my God, he plumbed the entire pond. He does electric. Oh shit, something broke. Or, hey, sit up here and grab tickets, take tickets.
Right.
So, he does a lot of the maintenance and a lot of the stuff there as well. He also has a couple of costumes he dresses up as. Oh, wait, that's been a minute, hasn't it? Yeah. But, I mean, there's a lot of people that do different things. Come on in, Val!
It's taken a bit to unearth this video, but we do have a Sean and I think Brandon video ready to show you guys at home. It's only 9 seconds, so it's really quick. I just uploaded it. I gotta find it again now. There it is. Here we go.
I'm hot, be careful, she average, I'm pressure, yeah, I'm pressurelicious, yeah, I'm pressurelicious, yeah.
Forever immortalized on the Elliott Network. Thank you.
See, in the haunt industry, and correct me if I'm wrong, it is the greatest feeling when you can come in and you got that family you can joke with. You go over to another haunt, and it's like you have family. They're kind of like the crazy cousins that you hope show up for Christmas, and that's it. But, absolutely, without a doubt, Mia, you're one of my favorite owners that I love to go talk to, just have a conversation with. I've got other ones that I love and
show up at my house. No, wait, I'm just kidding.
No, I do show up. Raven wants to go more through your house. She's like, but there was steps. It's like, Raven, we don't go up steps.
Well, we just leave the tarantula, out and
they're in bread.
In bread.
Yeah.
So, Mia, here's a question for you. Since the show is called Chainer's Haunted Secrets, what are some secrets that you can reveal about Carnage Haunted House?
I'm looking at Brandon if you're asking me over here, because we're both looking at each other like, what the hell?
There are 19 people buried in the walls.
That would surprise me.
In my lake.
Yeah.
How many urns have people in them?
Huh?
I said, how many urns actually have people in them?
I mean, my cousin's in my car. I could go sprinkle her, but legitimately, she's in my car. She went to Transworld with us. I do have a casket that had a body in it.
Okay.
Legit.
So we had the paperwork, all of her paperwork's in the slot there. She was on an airplane and she depressurized, and apparently they had to remove the body, and they left all of her paperwork.
What else? Clean the casket out?
Huh?
Did you have to clean the casket out?
No. It's one of those ones that there's like, huh? Yeah, we just lay in it. No, it's that's the one on the concourse, isn't it? No, that's the one standing up in the pit. We actually do have some paranormal activity that happens throughout this building. If you believe in it. I certainly do, because I see shit.
Yeah.
What else? Come on, Brandon. I'm a crazy cat lady.
Bowling pens.
Huh?
You still have a whole bunch of bowling pens.
I have cases of them fuckers.
What do you plan on doing with them?
There's balls. I got a. Yeah, we sent a bunch to Hell's Dungeon, didn't we? Yeah, I mean,
Yep, we got a bunch too.
So, what do I do? So at one point we're planning on painting them, and yeah, that hasn't happened. What else? We've had a couple of we've had a movie shot here. At our old location, we had a music video shot at our old location.
Tell them about your electric chair.
Oh, our electric chair was utilized in a movie. Courtney Gaines was electrocuted in our Malachi from Children of the Corn was electrocuted in our electric chair. That is a movie that's coming out called Thy Will Be Done. Kurt Angle's in that movie.
Andrew. Andrew.
I am too. I actually get to watch people fry.
Nice.
So yeah, we have the Bobaflex had done a video, which is a local band here, did a video at our old location, and had a bunch of people hanging from, I guess it would be kind of like gallows, but the guys, we had people hanging from our old location.
I remember when they did that. I remember that video.
Yeah, they did a new band launch when they burnt the guitar. We have a burnt guitar from Bobaflex when they went to be the Lonely Ones. So that was there. Yeah, we just had a Christmas movie shot here, which was the Clay Zombies Christmas special. So if you like campy 1980s claymation zombies getting shot and killed, right up your alley.
Amazing.
Plus,
it's not on Tubi.
Tubi.
It's not on Tubi.
Yeah, it's not on Tubi. That I've seen
Clay Zombies was shot at our old location, part of it, so we kind of have a relationship with them. I was in this Christmas special as the crazy cat lady, which if anybody knows me, that's not a far stretch. As a matter of fact, there's a cat in my office right now that is. This is my office. I had to move to because I needed to plug in. But
I know Pyle and I are going to be talking to you in probably sometime in the next couple months about another film. The network is doing a found footage comedy horror about cryptids called The Bewildered Beast, and that's something that we're going to be talking to a couple different haunt owners about.
So, but yeah, I'm always excited to see what you guys change at your haunt. A little thing is, honestly, I've only been in her office one time, and I've been in the haunt several times. Oh, look. She brought the cat.
She has a mascot.
Got another cat's name.
Luna.
Luna. Nice.
Luna.
We chose the same name as well, and then we found out he was a he, so he became Lunar.
Yeah.
Well, we knew that she was a female because she was outside, and she gave birth to 4 kittens.
Oh.
So
that's a dead giveaway.
Yeah, and so.
We had a Mary Shelley that turned into a Howard Philip Lovecraft at one point in time. Everybody swore it was the girl. We bought it as a girl. I mean, everything seemed right, and then one day we call it Red Rocket Day happened, and then name changed.
I've spayed and neutered 17 cats from this property. So
nice.
When I bought it, there was a massive cat colony. So, but yeah, Luna's here. So,
does she stay there permanently, or do you take her with you?
For now, she's been here since since she had her kittens, and then we spayed her. She's been here, but one of these days, my kids won't allow me to bring home another cat. I've got 6 at home, so So she stays. And then Brandon, he's got a kitten. He's trying to get them to play nice, but that's not going over very well. So
Yeah.
if
We have
if we
4
can get
here.
it,
There are fun days and bad days.
So back to the haunt stuff here. After the Easter egg hunt that you have next, or no, not next weekend. Yeah, next weekend.
Yep.
Next weekend.
What is your next haunt showing going to be?
it'll be our Extreme Scream, which will happen sometime around, maybe we did it in July last year, did we not? Between, June or July. Probably July, since, we did an Extreme Scream. We haven't really nailed that down yet as to what dates yet. That's going to have to come up pretty soon, because with our event next weekend, we usually put a thing at the end of our haunt that says, "Come to our next event." So,
right.
Will that be your halfway to Halloween event?
Yeah, halfway Halloween. Halfway Halloween. And then we're going to try to make a decision as to when we're opening in September. The beginning of September, where we've had like mixed,
Everybody wants to come to haunts early,
September
but then you
15th.
open them early and then no one shows up.
Right. Except for the super fans. And those super fans are the hardest to scare, because they're like, I've been waiting all year. And that's what you gave me.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, we do the seasonal events to help, keep everything going.
Yeah.
Keep the lights on.
Oh, definitely.
I really like the glow stick night.
Yeah.
The
I like the early
blackouts.
openers, because that's the only time I get to go to other haunts for the most part, either before we open or like, you guys and Springfield. I'm totally drawing a blank. The other haunt that we all go to together.
Face Your Fears.
Thank you. Yes. Man, my brain is so dead today. Face Your Fears, love them as well.
Yeah,
and then
Face Your Fears Hotel.
Dent. Yep, and a lot of us get to go to Dent together. Like, other than those haunts, like, I get to go to nothing unless something just happens to be open.
So there was a little fairy that just spoke to me here. Ask her about the parades or the events we do.
So we do some parades. Obviously, the Circleville Pumpkin Show. We drive the zombie truck or the hearse, which we haven't driven the hearse in a hot minute, but since the battery got taken out and hasn't been put back in. But we do a couple car shows we've done. Like a hearse. We did a hearse. What the hell did we do? Yeah, we did a trunk or treat. What else do we want to? We had last year we had we do have vendors now at the end of our we've actually started opening up to having vendors, like little local arts and crafty vendors that have a haunt flair. So you might get some skeleton earrings or something at the end of the haunt as you leave. So we're trying to open it up to allowing some vendors to come in and just do their thing. Tossing around the idea of a car show in a couple months in the parking lot. Hearses, zombie trucks, and
very cool
fun cars. What other crap do we do, Brandon?
Will you be doing Midwest Haunters Convention this year?
Yeah.
Doing or showing my ass up and having to probably work a booth, maybe.
It's kind of the same, I think, at some point, because even if you're showing up not expecting to do a booth, you may get pulled into one anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I probably, I know I'm going, but I may be at the Ohio, Hunters Association booth for a second, or, you know,
Right.
Very cool.
somebody else might drag me in. Who knows?
Ohio
I might,
Hunters Association. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we've never spoke about that, and in
What's
fact, I'm
that
pretty
about?
sure
I've never heard of that.
We've never had to escape a meeting to come to a live show immediately ever from that.
And I'm pretty sure we're one day going to have that big ginger on here.
Yeah. Yeah, Max. Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
Oh no, he
He's a
told
busy
me
man,
he
man.
would be supportive
Max.
of this.
I mean, Ohio Hunters Association, you know, before it got a reboot, I mean, we had that over at, you know, we had it at the prison up at Mansfield. We had that big meeting up there. That was so much fun a couple years ago. That was 2019. What?
I wasn't part of it then.
You
Wait,
weren't?
No.
It wasn't
Are we
20
talking?
The last time we went to
We're
Blood,
talking about
everybody
the
went to Blood
convention,
Prison
right?
was, I'm wanting to say it was 2021. Wait, no,
2019.
2022.
It was
They did it then
2019.
too?
Because remember,
Okay.
2020, we were going to have it, but then there was that little pesky virus.
Yeah, what we did.
Because I know that because we were going to be one of the sponsors on something. Carnage was going to be a sponsor on something.
Right.
I remember they
One
did
of
it
our
again in
first
2022
OHA
though.
meetings was at Mansfield. It was actually among one of the first OHA meetings that we did, and that's I think where it kind of spawned the idea of doing the OHHC, the Ohio Hunter and Halloween Convention. And so far, we've only done that once, and it was a big success. And we kind of marketed it as an alternative to people that couldn't go to Midwest Hunters Convention, which I think is why it was a success. And we held ours before MHC. So
because that's when Midwest Hunters moved to Chicago.
Yeah, and then they went to Chicago. A lot of people weren't able to make that trip. So the event that we did hold at Carnage, like a mini convention, what was it, last year? Was that last year?
Well, we had the one last year, yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of supposed to see if people would still be interested to have another OHHC, but I think it worked better as a day event like we had it.
Right.
Carnage was a really great venue for that. And I think, you know, despite the rain and stuff, we still had a pretty good turnout.
I mean, it was
the first year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I
would
takes
like
a couple
to see it
years,
happen
man.
again.
Whether it's a haunt, a convention, whatever it is, it can take 3 to 5 years realistically for things to really pan out to where you're like, okay, we've got a handle on this. It's actually doing something. We're not having to put as much into it as we were before. But these things take time. And if you're not prepared for things to take at least 3 to 5 years, then you got to kind of rethink your life choices a little bit.
Right. You got to give time for no matter what you do. And if you don't give it time and you just throw it away, it's absolutely one of those things that it could have blossomed a lot more into it. And that's the thing, you know, if you don't work with it, you don't give it time, it's kind of like a plant. It's just going to wither and die, and you threw it away.
Yeah.
Well, it's like starting any good business. If you want to have a successful business, you have to have a business plan for 3 to 5 years. And I'm sure Mia knows this when having started Carnage, you probably had your own business plan of where you see yourself or what you want to be in 5 years. What about that? You know, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I mean, we've been open since 2017. But the thing is that when we move locations, that shot us back down. Even though we moved like less than 5 miles. I mean, there is a business plan. Huh?
I was gonna say, was that kind of like a starting over on your timeline almost? Like when you guys did
Oh, absolutely. 1000% start over.
Yeah, it was a completely new build and everything.
Right. So
and you had the opportunity to make things even better than you had it at the old location.
right. But still it was a restart, redo.
And on top of that, COVID hit. It didn't help anything.
Now that basically shot us in the foot. I mean, our numbers plummeted. we still haven't. We've been close to our numbers where we were at the old location in 2019, but we haven't hit it back even in this new location. So
COVID year was hard. I mean,
we weren't open. We weren't open.
Yeah, I mean,
because I couldn't get our build permit.
Yep, a lot of haunts just weren't open for that. And I mean, the dungeon, we opened that. That was the year we opened, and I remember like in my Beetlejuice the whole costume like burning up to death, and I've still got a see-through mask, that I've got to wear. We had to do, distance. We had to wipe down like walls, anything a customer could touch between every group. We actually kept some of that stuff from back then, with just good business, so we still do it. But I've never been in the 30 years I've been doing that, doing haunting. That come this year, that's the weirdest experience I've ever had was haunting during COVID. Man, there was just so much.
We had originally planned to put up our claustrophobic tunnel.
Yeah.
And we were like, nah. So we ended up not putting it in, and then somebody used the claustrophobic tunnel as they decided to trim it up a little bit and use it as a backsplash for our pond. So that bitch is done. So it hasn't gone back. We don't have one now. So not that I mean, not that I miss it. So.
Well, I will tell you, that year for Changers Field of Screams, we were still really, really new, and we were trying to figure out how we could do this. And somebody looked at us and said, "It's not like you're going to wipe down every tree." You're right. We as long as we could go ahead and keep people 6 feet apart, like groups 6 feet apart, it was so much easier being an outside haunt. And everybody gave us the A-OK, and I felt bad for these other haunts because they weren't able to open, or there was just so many different restrictions, this and that. But we actually had a really good peak right there, and we would love to keep our trend going.
Oh yeah, I think it was things like drive-ins and outdoor haunts that kept a lot of people sane through a couple different seasons going through COVID. Like the ability to go outside and kind of socialize, but not really socialize, but you got fresh air.
It's interesting that you say that, Raz, because I was working Backwoods Oddities during that COVID season. We're an outdoor haunt as well.
Right.
So we all wore masks, and I had my mask that I just had half a clown face painted on it. And Keith Newsom, your makeup artist at Carnage, was the one that actually painted my mask for me back during COVID. And we actually saw record numbers that year because people just wanted to get outside. And we were one of the very few haunts that were actually open. And so we drew all of the other people around.
Oh yeah,
because there were no other haunts to go to. So we actually had record numbers that year.
Yeah, for us being inside, there wasn't a lot of, everybody was afraid to be inside, or they were inside all the time, so they didn't want to just go somewhere to be inside again. So there was a lot. I mean, we had the medical masks underneath masks too. Like there were so many layers of masks and makeup and masks that like you got actors passing out quicker than usual that are new to the haunt scene, which we all know we get people passing out when they put the masks on. Oh, I want to wear this 30-pound mask. No, you don't. Yes, I do. All right, buddy. You see how that goes? And when you pass out, don't worry, we got you.
So we're at an hour and 30 minutes. Mia, are you okay on time or?
No, I should have been where I needed to go like 9 minutes ago, but.
Well,
sorry.
Pyle, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I know, right? I just have
everything's possible.
Yeah.
Listen, people will wait for the queen. That's just how it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, not for this venue. Are you shitting me? I'm like a little. I'm going in just because I'm been asked to.
Okay.
But well, in that case,
it's like a rave thing. I mean, do I look like I go to raves? I'll be 58 years old this year. I am not raving. Okay. I have the earplugs. I'm bringing them. Okay. So
Okay. Thank you for being here, though.
I always tell people
Yeah.
I'm not a raver, but I am a raving lunatic. There is a difference.
I'll fit that, Bill. But and
So-
I feel like old there, and like mom comes out of me, and I'm like, children, stop. So, but it's at a great location, so I can look around and look at the pretty lights and stuff. So
Yeah,
there's that.
I'm actually jealous. I'm not able to go. Didn't know nothing about it, but Mia, it's been wonderful having you on here.
definitely.
And we're so glad that you could join us, and we are looking forward to coming to see you next
Come
weekend.
to the hidden, find the Easter eggs.
And guys,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
you at home, don't forget #Carnage to be in on the lottery for the tickets. We will wrap that at the end of the show. We'll draw that lottery. We will bring in a camera with us, but obviously we're not taking it through the haunt because you don't do that. But you'll see, kind of people, like what people's experiences were like. Maybe when they come out, we'll talk to a couple people about how they felt about the haunt and things like that.
If the people can come to this event, they can come. They can use their passes to any other event too. So we're pretty easy peasy.
There you go,
Okay.
guys.
Yeah,
We got you hooked up.
All right. Well, if
Okay,
I can
so-
figure out how the hell to end this, I think there's a button.
There is a button.
I'm good with
Thank
buttons.
you.
So
At the bottom and at the top, there's an X.
no, there is not. I have a house. I have 3 buttons over here. Maybe if I spin it. Oh, there's a button now. Okay.
All right, well, we love you tons, and thank you
All
so
right.
much
We'll
for
see you
being here.
guys later.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Mia.
having me on. Bye.
See you in a
Thank
week.
you, Mia.
Thank you.
See ya.
She's
Absolutely love
always-
Mia, man.
She's absolutely a treat. Absolutely. Anybody, please go see Carnage if you're able to at some time. They put on a wonderful show. If you can get through the one area, it just that smell is what gets me every single time. Walking through, it could be totally blackout, this and that. You're walking through with a candle on their blackout event, and as you're walking through with this glow stick, that smell hits you right in the face, and it's just, oh, what did
It
I
does
just
not go
get
away.
into? No,
Carnage
and
is worth it, man. Carnage is totally worth it.
absolutely,
100%.
It's one of my favorite haunts. It really is.
I mean, and aside from you guys and the people at my home haunt, that one of the people that I've enjoyed most meeting in the entire haunt industry in 30 years has probably been Mia. She's so much fun to talk to and to work with on things, and just she's absolutely amazing.
And you know what? This being a new podcast, it's absolutely wonderful to have her on here because she'll joke with you. She'll point out, well, you could be doing this a little better. She's such a straightforward person. And I'm really grateful that she said, yeah, I'll do it, even though she knew it was going to be the first show. And she goes, what did I get into? And I told her, I said,
this.
You can be in there for an hour. You can be in there for an hour and a half. You could be in there for 2 hours. And we ran overtime on her that she thought she wanted to be in here. And she just absolutely did not want to leave and be like, forget you guys. She's a wonderful person. Absolutely.
Truly.
The people that work for her there, it is such a range of different people. I am very happy and excited. I got to work with many of these guys. When I go over there, absolutely, they are so welcoming you. Some haunts, they just look at you and go, I don't care who you are. You got to learn this. I've never had a problem with their actors over there. I've been able to talk to their actors. I've hung out with their actors. There is one. His name is William Williams.
Nine Tails.
And it's Nine Tails. Absolutely. Yep. It is the funniest thing. I said, your name is William Williams? And he goes, yes. I said, no way. And he looked at me and goes, well, what's yours? I said, Pyle Hazard. And he looks at me and goes, well, you got the best name out of them all, didn't you? But he's such a great guy. Just, hopefully he keeps his shirt on because for some dang reason he likes to rip it off. And next thing you know, you come to find out that he's got 2 nipples that just are constantly hard. and they could cut glass. I swear, he's a great guy.
But I mean, we're talking about like not, having shirts on, and here we promised to take people to the haunt with shirts off, and Brandon said he'd take his shirt off when we were there.
I'll take my shirt off right now. I don't mind.
Well, I mean, we can't do it on the show because
Well, I don't know.
Facebook's
That's
gonna
really
promoting
nudity. I mean, I'm just checking.
They hit us when we don't have nudity, so I can't imagine.
So that wasn't nice.
What's
when they
that?
Somebody reported his head, and that wasn't nice. They thought we had a breast shot. I'm like, no.
I think it's because like you were tilting down like this, and they're like, "There's a boob."
My head because I'm bald.
We're just making it up. We have no idea what we are actually. I don't think. Do we know exactly what they thought was nudity? Was it that, or are we just
they
guessing?
didn't say anything, but he had bent over a couple times to readjust because he's uncomfortable, and that's the only thing I could fathom somebody to report us for is because they misunderstood his lovely head.
I mean, Rob is a boob, but his head is not.
You're right. But that's the greatest part about the haunt industry. We all joke with each other. We have a great time. And one of the things that Mia was talking to me about a while back is how it would be great to get more haunts into like a friendship. Dude, we're going to get blocked. Keep your bald head up.
You got to show up one day with just a nipple drawn on your head and just be like,
I was going to try to report this on the top of my head.
It's kind of hard, yeah.
Report this. Maybe I'll do that for next episode.
He's going to come in with a hat on his head. We'll be like, we've never seen him with a hat. It takes the head off and he puts it down, puts it back on. Wait, no. So one of the reasons that we actually wanted to start this podcast is absolutely showing off all the haunts and all the elements in the haunt industry. And one of the greatest things is there are so many wonderful haunts out there that we know personally, or, they are more than happy to share themselves. Unfortunately, one of my buddy's dads from 100 Acres passed away.
Yeah.
It's really sad, and my heart goes out to 100 Acres in Pennsylvania. We do hope that they do have a wonderful year coming up. I know that he was a person that actually did a lot there. So one of the main things I really want everybody to think about as we go on this wonderful journey and unlocking all these different haunts that you might know, haunts that you might not know, and different factors into these haunts, as in like who makes some of the props, where is there conventions, what conventions might be good for you. Okay, I'm thinking about being a home haunter. What makes me a home haunter versus a professional haunter? And sometimes there's lines there. And the biggest thing is, haunting to us is a major, major part of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not just, hey, I get to see that guy. The friendships that come out of the haunt industry are amazing. Some haunts, they like to keep all their secrets to them.
Mm-hmm.
And other ones, I will show you how to do it. Yeah. Absolutely. It's just one of those things that as we go on this podcast and we really want to talk to people, we want to figure out what got them started and why do they do what they do. Yeah. And I know we were talking before we were even really shooting at what we were going to do on this. It got brought up to my attention that one of my friends is allergic to latex, but latex can be found in paints, like face paints, and they had no idea.
And even some masks that say they're latex free actually have small traces of latex. We actually have two big allergies to latex. My daughter has allergies, and our crow / priest character Jeffrey, we discovered a pretty major one. And one for Brooke, it was makeup. We found out, and then with Jeffrey, he put on a mask that he didn't think had latex in it, and I was like, nope. See this right here? This is from latex, my friend. And he ended up having a real bad time from that. So you got to pay attention to that, man. And having an allergy to latex in the hunt industry is hard. You really got to hunt to find the makeups, and then you got to test a little patch on your skin to make sure, even though it doesn't say latex, you got to patch test first to make sure. And with the masks, it's kind of the same thing, like put the mask material, put it inside out, put it against the spot on your wrist, put it somewhere where you can test it against your skin.
And another thing that I do want to get into as we go along with this is a key factor in safety.
Yes.
We all want to be safe when we go through a haunt.
Definitely.
Haunts are supposed to be scary, but you're also supposed to be able to feel like you are in a safe place.
Yep.
And as soon as you get done being scared, you should understand that, yeah, this is safe. But what makes things safe? Fire alarms, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Those exit signs. I know there are some places that people go through and they are like, oh, look, there's an exit sign. But here in Ohio, it is required that we actually have these inside buildings.
It's a law.
Right. And the thing is,
makes it tough for us indoor hunters because it does break some immersion. No matter what you do or how you dress it up, it will unfortunately break a little bit of your immersion because they're light up signs. They're lit. They have to be well lit. Like we get fined if even one battery is out to where like all of it, but one tiny little section is glowing. We'll still get hit for that.
So one of the things that you're going to see at my haunt versus a lot of haunts is my character is the only one, but I do have a chainsaw. I do have machetes. I do have axes. I do have real stuff. Am I going to get as close as I possibly can to you? Not with those items, maybe if they're behind me.
Right.
But safety is a key factor, and in 20 years of me doing it, I have practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced, and I have figured out how to do this in the most wonderful way of keeping it so close to you, but yet having it so far away from you that if something does happen, it is not going to go towards you.
Right.
And that is one of the key factors.
It helps to have trained people to be able to react in those situations that know about safety precautions and procedures and things that they need to do in order to keep the patron safe coming through. And that is something that we can get into as we go through more episodes when we start talking about actor training and all of that.
Oh, definitely. I want to do some training episodes.
Absolutely. And the one thing I'm always constantly reminded of is accidents do happen, and we feel bad when accidents happen. You bump somebody, you feel bad. But there are some places that if they do not do the training with their actors in this equipment, things can go wrong. I have a haunter that absolutely loves being the chainsaw character, but before he could do it, I told him, here, practice on this tree. And he said, well, the tree is a tree. I said, make the tree move.
Yeah.
And he did not take me seriously. And then finally he understood why you do this training. Because you can hurt a tree and it's not going to scream at you. You hurt a customer and it does. That's why training is so important. Safety is so important. You go to these haunts, keep your cell phones in your pockets.
Keep your fucking phones in your pockets. I'll do it for him.
Like no one will fully understand. It is dark, our eyes adjusted, we're good, everybody's fine, and then you have this one person. It's like a movie theater. All of a sudden, they're going and they're like, "Oh, I can't find where I'm going," and they turn on their light.
Right.
That hurts. It causes problems. It takes a while for our eyes to get adjusted.
And if you're doing something somewhat dangerous when that light hits your eyes, accidents happen.
Right. And that's the whole thing.
May
Go
I
ahead.
break in here? 2 things, guys. I have learned about haunts. The haunt actors themselves will guide you where you need to go. Just follow them through the scene because they will guide you through their little scenes where you're supposed to be going. Number 2, I don't care how scared you are, how macho you are, or how big and bad of a bitch you think you are. Please, under no circumstances, hit the actors, or if you think they're cute or whatever, please don't touch or grope or whatever.
Yeah.
They are human, and also they did
We
not
are?
give you consent. You know what I mean.
I'm just teasing you. I mean, you're right about
Right.
that. And here's the thing: when you want to go in there and be a badass and like talk shit and punch a hunter, there is one of you. There is anywhere from 30 to 100 of us in that building or outdoor space, depending on where you're going. And we can assure you that if what you do is bad enough,
you only need one.
you will be the next prop in the haunt, and no one will find your body again.
And don't think you are so big going through a haunt that here is this volunteer that is the first year that they're working and they scared you and you go and you try puffing up. Because I'll tell you what, there's going to be somebody watching that volunteer.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And these are not things for people to say, well, I don't want to go to the haunts. These are things that we are telling you because we want you to come. We want you to have a great experience. We want you to enjoy yourself. And we want you to be aware that there are things put in place. One of the main rules on a lot of haunts is scare forwards, scare forwards, scare forwards.
Yep.
What Jenny was talking about with the haunt actors will guide you through the haunt. Man, so many people, they do not get this message. And I've dealt with this in practically every haunt that I've worked at. But like this past season, working at Backwoods, and I'm working the kitchen scene, and we have one section it's just flaps that leads out into like the actor corridor or behind the scenes, so to speak. And the way you're supposed to go through the scene is by going through a refrigerator door, and it leads into the next scene.
Right.
And so many people, they see the flaps where, you know, the actor will come into the scene and they think that's the way that they're supposed to go out. So I'm standing in the way, like blocking that exit so they can't go that way. I'm like, you don't want to go back there. Like that's my private bedroom. You know, you don't want to go back there. It's all messy and everything. You know, trying to divert people, say you need to go through the refrigerator door. They don't get it. I like specifically tell them you need to go through the refrigerator door. They don't get it. They still want to try to push their way past me because they think I'm full of shit and that's the way that they're supposed to go. I'm like, okay, when an actor tells you go a specific direction, it probably means go that direction.
Now, I went to a haunt and they have had multiple doors. You open a door and the person pops out like this wrong door. And then they shut the door. You'll go and grab another one. Actor will pop out wrong door. And then you're like trying every door. But what you don't understand is the right door is on a magnet. And you can't get through that door. So you're like going like this and you go through all these doors at the actors. Then it unmagnetizes. This is something that we enjoy doing.
Oh, well, I'm not saying that actors won't fuck with you in some situations.
Oh, right.
I mean, we've got what we call the 2 room at Backwoods, and every door has the number 2 on it. So you figure that one out.
Also, and kind of going back to a little bit about not punching people, not doing things, I'm going to reveal a big secret, a huge haunt industry secret right now on the show. For every path you see when you're going through as a customer, there are so many more. And you know what's in those secret paths? Security. The actor trainers, the runners, the people doing the water. So you may think that you're in a room that's only you and the actors and no one has any idea what you're doing in there. Oh, we know. We see you. We're looking right at you from a spot that you can't even possibly believe a human being could be. We can see you. We all see you. And we have radios. So not only have we seen you, but everyone else that has a radio knows where you are and what you're doing every step of the way. So if you're already a problem in the queue line, you are being watched by potentially dozens of people, not just the actors.
Right.
Because the actors, they know too. They know you're coming.
Yep.
They know what you're doing. They know what's going on. Information goes quickly through a haunt. I don't care if you think a haunt, it's going to take forever for them to find out because this is like a 30, 40-minute haunt. That information travels at like 100 times that speed.
Right.
So you do one thing in one room in the beginning, within a minute or two, because of all the pathways and the radios and the runners, they already know at the end. Security knows. Merchandise where you exit, they know what to expect. We all know.
Right.
You're not sneaky. We know. You hide
Yeah,
a flask and
customers, they've
you pull
only
it out
got
and
the
sip
one
it.
path through the haunt that we want you to take.
Yeah.
But security people, the actor trainers, the runners, they all know those other paths because they help build the haunt.
And most
they
of us
know
can
how
do
to
that
get
with our eyes
places
closed.
faster than you do.
Or
And Pyle's
you've been a
seen me.
guest actor so
yeah.
many times that you actually memorized it.
Pyle's seen me. I've literally been outside and gotten a call in the haunt that was on the other side of the building.
Right.
And because of pathways, I've been down those stairs and to the other side of the haunt, helping out to solve the situation in like 2-3 minutes. Sometimes like 2 minutes or less. Like, it's quick. And if I'm in the haunt, there's nowhere in the haunt I can't get in less than 60 seconds from anywhere inside it from the pathways.
I do want to point out that the haunt industry is something to absolutely enjoy. That's what the haunt industry is. Something to enjoy, something to really think about this, to bring you out of your world and bring you into our world. But be smart about it. Do not come to a haunt and be so wasted that you can't even make it through the line.
Yeah,
it's not going to work. It's not going to be safe. And that brings up that whole thing with safety.
Yeah.
We want safety for you guys, and we want safety for our haunt owners. And I'll tell you what, the next person that we have on this show is going to be Mike Ross.
Yep.
Mike Ross, he has been doing this for years. He's another haunt owner, but he is not a haunt owner that is inside. His haunt is actually outside, and we'll be able to compare inside to outside.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Ross has also done Gravedigger as his character. He's done multiple different things. He's a wonderful person to talk to, and he was joking with me about something, and I took him seriously.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it with Michael Ross, but we can't reveal what we're doing.
Indeed.
But I want you to know here in 2 weeks, we're going to have Mike Ross on, and Mike Ross is such a wonderful person. I do believe he is going to have his wife, as long as everything's okay. She's going to be on the show with him. So
nice.
On the 29th of March, we'll have Mike Ross and hopefully his wife that has put up with his crap. And she loves him so much. But if you go to conventions, you will be able to meet Mike Ross. And Mike Ross, he'll put on his character, which is Gravedigger. And he does such a great job. He's also, for a while, he had a podcast called Haunt Chat Live.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's bringing it back just because his schedule's been so full. He has been an actor in movies. He's got so much going for him.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't wait. And his haunt's called Sinister Sydney in Iowa. And it's great because not too far away from me is the reason that Sydney, Iowa exists. And it's Sydney, Ohio. There was people that loved Sydney, Ohio and moved to Iowa. And when they moved to Iowa, they started Sydney, Iowa. Spelled the exact same way. So
hello, Sydney.
It's that Sister City.
Yeah. So I want to put that
Sugar,
in there.
Absolutely terrifying.
Want to put that in there because we are going to talk to him, and we kind of want to talk to him about some of the stuff that he's got to pull up with in the haunt industry. But yet again, he doesn't have to have fire suppression systems because it's an outside haunt.
Man, we have a very expensive fire alarm system in the dungeon. On top of that, we have fire extinguishers. We even have actual fire blankets that you have to wear special gloves to use. And that's all hidden. Like, I mean, the fire, system you can kind of see things from, but like all the extra special security measures that's in those mazes and those pathways at like specific points everywhere throughout the damn building.
Right.
Oh, we got some more people. The hashtag Carnage. All right, guys, don't forget to get in that hashtag Carnage because we're getting close to the end of the show here, and that's when we're gonna do the wheel.
Yeah.
So
the wheel of morality. Oh wait, wrong wheel.
Yeah, we don't have a wheel of morality here.
So I will tell you, we're giving away 5 tickets to Carnage. All right, and the way that this is going to operate is whoever wins these tickets can bring them and 4 others. Okay, and the reason that we're doing this number, and this might be a weird number, is because me and Raz and his wife are going to go Carnage on Friday. That means that if you guys would like to ride with us and save some gas and put up with some fun shenanigans, and I promise by next weekend I will get the blood out of my seat in the van. And it's funny, somebody said nuh-uh, and I opened the door and they said, "Yep, there it is." I will get it out of the seat and we will transport you guys. And that is one of the wonderful things is we want to meet the people that watch these shows. We want to bring you places. And, I know when we get closer to October or closer to September, I guarantee I'm going to have Chainers Field of Scream tickets on here. And anybody else wants to donate tickets towards us, that would be absolutely amazing. Because we want to advertise the haunt industry. So if we can get prizes, awesome. It's just trying to play the game.
Yeah, and that's why we do things like our 24-hour stream where we take donations. We're always accepting donations for the show to keep the lights on.
Right.
But mostly we just use all that money to buy cool shit to give to you guys or get tickets to give you guys the things or just have fun with.
Well, you know what? One of these days we just might have a wonderful picture of me that's on a card and I can hand it to you.
I want one.
I'm scared enough. I don't know if I want a picture of Pyle.
I'm working on a box for you because I've got things that need to go to you. Okay.
Need more people out at the Chainers Field. That would be a great idea.
We did already reveal it. You weren't.
We are working on
that one. That we are getting trading cards. That's happening within the next couple of weeks. We will have them in our hands.
Yeah, mine will be the only card people will try to give away, and nobody will take it.
Yeah, we're doing trading cards, business cards, some banners. We're
right.
We're moving things up, guys. Like, keep in mind, like I said, we were talking earlier. We've been a network, the Elliott Network, for like 9 months, but we went from literally Dell and I building the entire thing in 24 hours, and then bringing in Jenny, and then just bringing in other people to like having this whole thing where we're on like this week. It's 5. It was literally 5 days this week. We were broadcasting up to Sunday.
Right.
But our off work, our every other week is only 4 shows until we get another Friday show. But like we have a lot of programming. We have built so many shows, met so many cool people, and what we do in the background is we have these little meetings. We're like, okay, what are our big goals right now for the year? What's our big goal from a couple years from now? And we kind of accidentally blew through every single goal we had set for ourselves, right down to going to conventions, which started this year. We have blown through all of them, and now we're going to do a movie and a box fort world record. Those are our next big things that we're working on, in the midst of convention season and, working towards haunt season. So we're always trying to find ways to be bigger and better, do more giveaways. We're working into like t-shirts and a lot of other things as well. So, we're definitely here to stay.
I need to go to another frog show.
Yeah.
More frog shows.
Yeah, but we've also got other content, guys. If you go to just our YouTube, for example, we have Outlet Radio, which we're going into production of another 4 episodes here shortly. Over on Twitch now officially, me and Matt and Michelle started streaming games over on just our Twitch. So wherever you find us, our normal shows, we kind of streamed everywhere. That's kind of what we do. But we have things that we're catering to specific platforms. Right. And a number of our shows are going to be converted into audio-only formats. So you'll be able to start finding a lot of our shows, wherever you listen to audio podcasts. So there's so many different ways we're giving you. And we just now became the owners of owllightnetwork.com. That happened yesterday. So
Jeez.
we have the bones of a site there. We're still building that up. But like we've fucking 9 months, man. We have done so much. Much stuff. And it's mind-boggling. So when we do our things and for giveaways and donation calls, just know that every penny goes literally just back into us building this up and doing and buying cool things for you.
Right. And that's awesome. So
yeah, I'm not allowed to if I have a new idea. I get really stoned on show, like especially Padded Cell, and I'm just like, we should build a giant box fort, man. And then I
out of cereal boxes, man.
Then I spend the next week figuring out how to do that thing, and then we go and do it.
So, are we ready to spin the wheel of morality?
Only 4 people have entered.
4? Well, guys, it's gonna be one of you 4.
4 is better than 0.
I'll put my name in the hat. Then you can put me on the wheel. Oh, please put me on the wheel, baby. Oh yeah.
So the only people that are being excluded from wheels, so you guys at home know, is us on the network, and in this case, anyone that works for Carnage wouldn't be allowed on the wheel, for example. So we're making sure that so you guys at home know how these things work.
I don't work for Carnage. You can put me on the wheel.
But you work for the network.
What's that?
Yeah.
But you work on the network.
You work for the network.
Well,
you got the haunt that donates the tickets and the network. So
semantics. You say potato, I say radish.
So that is John Ozers, Ali Goodall, Jessica Moore DeBoard, and
Caudill.
Yeah. Sorry, I am terrible at names.
Don't
and John
worry, we will
Ferguson.
butcher it.
We're related.
Yeah.
And John says yes.
Yeah.
So those are the winners.
Or those are
not the winners. We got to spin because whoever wins the ticket package.
They win the ticket package.
And then they can invite whoever the hell they want.
Yeah, then they invite who they want.
Oh, they're all okay. I did not understand that part. That did not make any sense to me. So hold on a second.
Well, you just made a lot of disappointed people there.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
Congratulations, you won to be on the wheel to win.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I'm actually was related through marriage for quite some time to people with the same last name as you. So that makes me wonder if we were at some point related. That would have been hilarious. And speaking of,
and it is Caudill.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Ali Caudill, you are a winner of a ticket package.
Yay.
Okay.
So it's gonna be you and 4 of your friends that can max out. If you want to go with us on Friday, and it's going to be next Friday, we can transport you, and we'll take you to Carnage. We'll have a great time. We will joke around.
We'll tell you stories.
Oh God. You have to deal with my bad driving.
No, dude, straight Pyle is one of the best drivers I've ever been in a vehicle with, and driving makes me super fucking nervous. And the whole time I'm riding with Pyle, I was fine.
Yeah,
I was absolutely fine.
Pyle's not a bad driver. I've ridden with him before. He's actually perfectly safe.
Yes.
I try to be safe, and we'll take the creeper van. And one of these days, we're going to get Owllight Network a magnet on it.
People are standing by to do that for you. You just have to talk to them.
And I would like to apologize.
Are standing by.
What, Jenny?
Okay. I had misunderstood that one part, that the one person, not just like 5 people who were that entered.
It would be creepier if we gave the individual tickets away, because there'd be like 5 strangers who don't know each other getting into a fucking van with Pyle and Raz. So we kind of thought that they should at least know people.
Yeah, that makes it sound more like a reality show, like a competition. We're going to take you to a strange house, and then you have to battle each other until one man lives and left standing. That would make a great show.
It's a creeper van.
So it'd be like, well, now I want you all to know, you just get in the back of the van, and I'll give you a lollipop, but you got to meet your neighbor.
Yeah, and apparently Matt and Brooke are going to buy tickets to go through. So my whole clan's coming.
Oh, sweet.
Well, we got to ditch the convention that night because we're going to be at Horror Hound that whole weekend. So we got to leave on Friday to come and meet up and hang out for the evening.
Nice to people be here, and you know who I'm bringing.
Oh, that's creepier and fuck. I don't know who they're all bringing, but that's just.
So this is someone you know, obviously.
It is. It is.
I feel like
I'm
supposed to be doing that Friday night, and I can't think of what it is.
What you're doing on Friday night is I don't know.
Well,
but
if I'm not doing
on a
anything,
show.
I'm going to try to make my way to Carnage just so I can fuck with you guys.
Oh yeah.
Hi,
Hey, Desiree.
Desiree pops in right at the ass. Jeez. But
Way
hi.
to be late, Desiree.
Yeah.
Good
what
job.
the heck?
But yeah, I mean, so are these people in your neck of the woods? Because if so, we can just drive straight up and meet you there, and then pick them up and torment them.
So these people are on the way to you.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So yes.
Okay.
Doing
She's
homework.
Homework.
On a Friday. You wait until Sunday.
I'm waiting until tomorrow to finish mine.
Right.
So
yeah, exactly. No.
But honestly, for me screwing up and not introducing you guys, I am so sorry because I'm not usually the one that introduces you guys. I'm not the one that usually does anything. But you know what? I remember how we do the sign off.
Wait, don't you mean vet school is rough? Sorry, that's my dad.
Yeah, but I'm not
anyway.
mad at you for forgetting.
Oh no!
Yeah, I was
no,
just like,
it's
wait a minute. He didn't introduce us. He just launched right into this. What's going on? I know I smoked a lot before the show, but did I smoke so much that I just missed the introduction?
Nope, I just jumped in and said, let's get into it.
Nah, you did a great job, man. You did. You kept us on track pretty well. You know, things moved nicely, and you're getting us some amazing guests. You know, like awesome people.
Oh, you know what? I have so many different people, and you know what?
I already got people messaging me like, "Hey, when you guys have dates, what's going on?" And we want to get involved. And I'm like, "Well, Pyle has booked out pretty far, so let's get to that point, and then we'll figure it out."
So there is one that I did not know I was ever going to be able to convince them to join. I'm really super excited because I do. Is it the 20? It is. May 24th. May 24th. Vic. From Blood Prison.
That's super cool. That's Mansfield Prison, guys. Like the famous Mansfield Prison. Most honestly, like paranormal investigative teams on TV have been there. There've been movies there. Also, Shawshank Redemption was filmed there. Just fun fact.
And
when we were talking about the guest list and we were going through everything, I told you I have somebody booked for everything up till Midwest Haunters Convention, and I could not remember what this one was. And I kept on thinking, and I told you if I ever figure it out, and then I realized because he posted something one day, and I was like, "Oh, so we've got haunt owners. We have one that does a bus tour of haunts that's going to come on. He's going to talk about the bus tours of haunts that they do. We have one of the vendors for haunt stuff. They're going to be coming on, and I'm very super excited. So, you know, and we got another haunt owner.
Yeah, Mr. Fred Hearn. Anytime I mention Fred or Hell's Dungeon, that's the head honcho over there. I'm even wearing this is one of his shirts because it's in we call it Royal Hearn Blue. It's the Hearn Blue color. So I had to, first show ever, I had to wear this shirt. So
I've got the Backwoods Odyssey shirt on.
I love that one too. I love that one, by the way.
Sorry, I can't. It's haunt season.
I need to get me one of those, man. That is brilliant.
If in case you're unaware, Vic from Blood Prison does actually have his own podcast called Blood Prison Shakedown.
Yep.
Yep.
And that was one of the things. I didn't know if he was going to want to do ours because he's got his own. But
no, it's actually a good idea too, because you do cross promotion with other. I do this a lot. Like, well, here I haven't since we started the network, but I'm going to be on a podcast I think this Sunday or next Sunday, early in the day. But like, you got to do that because you get out there, you meet more people in the industry, then you start promoting each other. And podcasting is a lot like the haunt industry in that way. When you meet other really awesome people, you just want to promote them and tell people. Like, I don't care if there's a show going on the same time as us. I'm still gonna be like, hey man, you got to check this out because they're great people. They're great at what they do. It's about being in it together.
We also are in talks with Trans World Live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. Apparently, I need to back away from the pipe and let someone else start shoving stuff in the pipe.
Yeah, dude, I've literally got effects artists, actors, haunt organizations, like a lot of stuff from other states, and they're just like, hey, so can we? And I'm like, well, yes, but it's going to be a little bit, but we will get to you. The show's not going anywhere. And they're like, but what are you going to do when it's haunt season? And it's funny because people have already asked that, and me and Pyle have a plan for that. So during haunt season, this show won't be live. This will actually be a pre-recorded show that'll pop up on its normal time slot on YouTube. So we've found the way on how to keep this show going, even during haunt season, because this is likely going to be another one of our year-round shows with just the sheer amount of guests in the industry. So, as you guys know, we have some shows that are seasonal and some shows that are year-round. And during the off-season is the most important time for a show like this, because if you don't know, when you're in the haunt industry and it's not haunt season, or if you don't got a special event going on, it's fucking depressing. We do a lot of haunter check-in. Like OHA has the haunter check-in. A lot of organizations have the haunter check-in. We're used to performing for you.
Build day, we can go back to the haunt just to be there to build.
Yeah, just to build and like touch the and touch some grass.
Right now, this is my background. Okay, but as we go on, I've already talked to people at Chainers Field of Screams, and I am going to go ahead and I am going to do one of these live shows, no kidding, down at the field in my dad's scene, which is the cabin in the woods.
Yeah, I was actually going to talk to you and do some stuff from some scenes at HD as well, if I can get the internet there to work properly.
Don't worry, we've got internet that goes down there. We made sure that we had internet that went down there because we play music and this and that.
I mean, we have internet at the dungeon too, but we're underground, so getting things like internet to work underground it's
oh no, we've got a dish that's about like this, and it projects it down to the field. It works. Nice. It works over there at the ticket booth. It works this and that. I don't have problems. And the thing is, the kids go, you guys got Wi-Fi down here? Yep, but you ain't getting the password, because if you guys get the password, I'm going to get a whole bunch of bulging stuff. Yep, it's all over.
Fred always does a speech at the beginning of every year. He's like, listen, guys, cell phone policy. Don't want you on them, but I know I can't stop you from being on them. And some nights it's slow. But if anyone on staff or from another scene, and it gets back to me that you missed a scare because you were on that phone, I'm not taking your phone. But you're not going to work here anymore.
All right. So, as we have talked about this, I am the owner of Chainers Field of Screams. I have 20 years of being a haunter. I have now going on 7 seasons of being a owner. I have done 8 different haunts that my character has been at now. And I have a haunt of volunteers, and I'm very proud of my volunteers. I'm sorry, I am a bad host in the beginning of this because
we'll do it at the end. It's okay.
In the beginning. Let's go with Ron. Ron,
let's introduce ourselves.
Yeah, Ron, what have you done in your life? Nothing, right? Okay.
Nothing.
Going on to Slasher.
Okay, well, guys, I'm Dr. Raz T Slasher.
Friday, let's go.
I've been Raz, and you've been great. Good night.
So, seriously, Ron, you've been haunting what, 3 years?
3 years. What? Are you pulling my leg right now?
Okay, maybe put a 0 on there. What? How many you got?
This coming season will make 13.
Oh, okay. So put a 1 in front of that. Okay, 13. I was close, just half off.
But you just got the wrong
More
person.
than half. No, I professionally haunting. It's been this coming season will be 13, but that's not to say that I haven't had previous experiences at haunted houses, whether as acting or as building. My first ever experience actually acting at a haunted house was when I was in college, and my dorm put on a haunted house Halloween for charity, and it was popular, so we ended up doing it several years in a row. But I was involved with the very first year, helping to build it and to decorate it and all of that, and then acting in one of the scenes. But it's not like, professional haunt where we had actor training or this is what you do in a haunted house or anything like that. You basically you go into the scene that you help design and that you help build, and then you do whatever, and nobody tells you don't do that. That's not scary. So we
Don't
kind
say
of botched
boo,
it up.
Ron.
It was
Don't say boo.
very bad. What was that?
Don't say boo, Ron. Don't say boo.
Right? And it's like we didn't really
Get
take
out of here.
We did not take it seriously. And it's kind of like if I knew then everything that I have learned up to this point, man, I could have done so much of a better job. And like one year when we were doing it, and I got pulled at the exit to be the person running the chainsaw because they were like, "Hey, Ron, you're big and surly looking. Here, run a chainsaw." And I had never, ever run a chainsaw in my life. I knew nothing about it. So as the first group comes out, I try to crank it. The damn thing doesn't start. What are you supposed
We've all
to
been
do?
there. We've all been there.
It's like, what are you supposed to do? And I was like, okay. And it was extremely embarrassing.
Ron couldn't start the chainsaw again.
Dude, there was a haunter that grabbed the chainsaw and he's like, I got this. And I was like, I'm going to be so disappointed in you. And he looked at me and goes, I got this. And he goes, he flips it over and he goes, yeah, I know this. So he goes, "Grr, grr." And I was like, impressive, right? And he goes,
That's what I should have done if I thought about it, but I didn't even think about that.
Put it down and walk away and put your tail between your legs. You're done with it.
I did get it to start the next time though. So I mean I did end up doing that for a little bit. It was okay. But no, my actual professional haunting experience started in 2012 with the Scaratorium, which was owned by Kelly and Nina Collins, who were also the previous owners of the Midwest Haunters Convention before they sold it to Transworld. So, and Kelly still is a great person to work under because he pretty much taught me practically everything I know about haunting to get me started. And we can go into more of that if I ever become a guest on the show. So Scaratorium, and then after that, I worked at the Miller Building in Lancaster when we did True American Haunt. Really helped out a lot with that, with actor training and a lot of the building, because Miller Building itself in Lancaster is a historical landmark, and that is a whole story in and of itself. But that is actually where I met Angela, who is now the Voodoo Queen at Carnage that we talked about at the beginning of the show. Great person, incredible actress. And then that only lasted one season, and that's about the time that COVID hit. Let's see, it was 2019. We did True American Haunt, and then the next year during COVID, we were actually working back and forth between the Haunted Hydro and Fremont and Backwoods Oddities down in Waverly, Ohio. and traveling back and forth between the two on the weekend. So it is a 2-hour drive up to Fremont from Columbus. And then we'd have to pass back through, and it's another hour drive from Columbus down to Waverly, where Backwoods Oddities is. That was a lot of just being on the road and, you know, working, and it was a lot of effort. So the next season we focused solely on Backwoods Oddities, and it kind of became our home. So it's where I've been ever since.
So one of these episodes, you're going to see us fire Ron. The next episode, he is going to be a guest. And at the end of that episode, we're going to ask him to be a co-host again.
As that character?
No, just fire you straight up and say, you're fired and you won't be able to make it anymore. And then you'll be, you know, the guest, and we'll like you, and you can come back and join us.
Okay.
Raz is like, dude, whatever.
Yeah, it works.
So,
you know, we always fire everybody in the building at the very last night of the season. Usually we fire people at the end of our Valentine's Day event. Like, okay, but don't worry, we're going to hire you back this summer. It's cool.
Oh, boy.
But your interview, you have to be Inya.
Uh-huh. I kind of
whole,
figured.
The whole interview, I want Inya Bottom.
Whoa.
Okay.
Phrasing. Are we not doing phrasing?
Nurse Inya Bottom is a character.
The whole 9 yards.
Ron does it so wonderfully that he will make you laugh and make you cry in about 5 seconds after he goes right behind you and makes shivers go down your timbers.
Oh yeah.
Man, I'm gonna have to go buy some
pirate
makeup.
joke.
I have to go buy some makeup to do that.
So, Raz,
yes,
you know I absolutely love you.
I love you too, man.
I am so glad.
You said 30 earlier, and I think you got me and Ron mixed up.
Oh no.
This is legitimately this is legitimately my 30th haunt season. I have been an actor, special effects artist. I've done lights. I've done sound. I've done props. I've been an owner 1 year. I've done promotions. There is no security. There is nothing that I have not done in the haunt industry at some point or another. And now I'm even, the acting manager is what I've been doing these last couple of years. So I'm not acting as much, but like I get to like teach people like everything I know and collect really cool information, and just we'll have a whole show about that at some point. But this is my life, man. Like from the summer when I was 12 until turning 42 this year, it's literally, I guess technically this summer it'll be 30 years or whatever. But it's exciting for me to go from being a kid, like a little kid, doing Michael Myers those first 3 years, to now just I've done so many characters from Hollywood to made up characters, everything in between. And finding my love in Beetlejuice as an adult, like playing him, it was just something I never thought I'd be able to do before. I've no matter how much I feel like I've done it all, though, there still comes a newbie fresh off the boat, like year one, and teaches me something new, some angle on a character or a prop that I had never put together before. And that is exactly why I keep coming back every single year, because you find out these new little things, new little pieces of information from the most unlikely sources, but you got to keep your ears and your eyes open. You got to be willing to know that it doesn't matter how many years you do it, you can't know everything. So you've got to come to it like that.
And Raz, I will tell you, you're a wonderful person, not only to your own crew, but the crew that walks in and helps you guys. You absolutely have shown so much love to all my chainers that have come down. And I know that they absolutely appreciate you. They think the world of you.
For me, it's everybody that comes in that building, whether you're one of our haunters, a guest haunter, or just a guest, coming through to pay to go through. Like, I love everybody, and I want everybody to have the best experience. I want you to go in and be scared, or if you're working, I want you to enjoy your time there. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, we're all a family, and if somebody needs something, that's what haunt is. That's, starting when I first started this, it was normal for haunts to get along and, hey, you're short on actors. I've got a couple extra. Let me send them over. Oh shit, your chainsaw broke. I've got 3. Let me send one to you until you get yours fixed. this was normal when I was coming up, and to see all that just kind of die out in like the early aughts, like was weird to me. So then you've got things like OHA and a lot of hunts like starting to find this togetherness in Ohio and even outside of Ohio. It's like there's people excited about it, and for me, it's like I am excited about it, but it's bringing back what I knew and loved about hunt starting. But now I get to do this and be one of the people that helps that with experience. Right. So it's just weird. And even like seasonal hunts, that shit died out at some point in time. But when I was coming up, everybody did every season. You know, you did something for every season. You did giveaways. You did a lot of charity work and events. Because honestly, most of the hunts I've worked at have, like throughout the 30 years have been charity hunts where I didn't get paid, didn't want to get paid. I was there to help raise money for all kinds of cool charities and events. Like that's what I did. That's what I loved. And
so
you always say that you're a little guy because you guys are volunteers. No, you're not. You're just as much in the industry as, say, Land of Illusion or Carnage or Hell's Dungeon or anyone else. If you have a hunt, I don't care if you're a small, big, or yard hunter even, you know, a home hunter. You're a haunter. And that is the key word there, haunter, which means you're part of a much larger family than yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I will say, you know, when I started this podcast today, I jumped into it knowing that Mia had someplace to be.
Yep.
And I'm glad that we have this time towards the end to figure out who we are and why we're here. Yep. Now, the biggest question is, why would we have a haunter on here that's not actually a haunter, but an enthusiast?
Jenny.
Why? I don't know why you chose me other than I know how to press the buttons.
I can press the buttons too. Chose me. It's not about the buttons because I can press the buttons. It's more than the buttons. Man.
I know why. I know why. Because Jenny is the duct tape that holds Owlite Network together.
That's true.
Okay,
oh, wow.
So
am I at least pretty duct tape?
You got wonderful sunflowers,
sparkly, glittery duct tape.
It's my favorite shirt. I wanted to feel nice and look nice for the show. Now, if I don't, fantastic. Please don't tell me I don't, because don't destroy my illusion.
No.
Your Hello Kitty duct tape.
There's absolutely a reason that I wanted to make sure that this was a spot for you. You are not a haunter. You've never haunted, correct?
Nope.
So you going through haunts, you have the perspective as a customer, right?
Yes.
And when you go and you talk to these people, there's so many questions that you have as a person that we know the answers, but you don't.
And we might not think to ask the questions because we know, like, yeah.
And me and you have talked about different questions and what's some stuff to get your brain thinking, because that's one of the best things about you. Us three know the industry, and the other ones that are possibly going to be on here as guest hosts absolutely are in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
You are not, but you do play a big part into the haunted industry now.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Go ahead.
I'm a desensitized patron that actually looks at all the pieces that I go through, and I'm like, oh, that is such a cool thing you made in this scene. I don't know how you made it, but that is so cool. Dude, that is an amazing costume. I go through and I look at all the pieces.
Oh, yeah.
And then I confuse them and I say, thank you, and then walk through because I am desensitized, but I also don't want them to think just because I didn't get a fright unless it's a really good jump scare, I didn't appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the big things that I love about you and why I'm so glad that you're going to come on this journey, and now you are part of the haunt industry and you don't understand it, is because here you are broadcasting with everybody else, talking about everything and going on this adventure with us through the haunt industry. And you're going to have a guest on here that is absolutely going to remember you, for you are something that is bringing more light to the industry. You are absolutely a key factor into this, and I'm very glad that you're joining us into this because, like I said, I know the haunt industry. He over there knows the haunt industry. That wonderful man. Let me point right. That one knows the haunt industry. You have learned from us the haunt industry, but there are so many things that still you don't know, and you're learning. And as you learn, you become the haunt industry.
I want to say two things, and I want to speak to that directly. The way you talk about going through haunts is that's how we go through haunts. It's how haunt owners and other haunters go through haunts. Like you had before you even met us and talked to us about this stuff, you were already going through it with that eye for detail. That's not the way a normal person goes, like a regular customer goes through a haunt. That's you go through, you experience it, but like to stop and care about the art, to care about the costumes and the details, that's non-traditional. But at the same time, one of the roles that you provide on the show is you are a representation of every customer and every person that's gone through a haunt because you've never worked at one and because you have questions and wondering how things are done or how certain things operate, all that. You're going to ask the questions that everyone that's ever been through a haunt is going to want to know when we don't think to. So you are that representation of both where haunt owners and haunters meet the patrons. Like you are that midpoint in between those. And that's a very unique perspective.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So, real quick, in this wonderful group that we have about this show, we have two pictures of Mia that has left this show to go to this rave.
This is the rave at Otherworlds in Columbus.
And it is so funny just to see that she is sending me photos of her at this rave, and she thinks that I'm not going to put it on this show. I don't have the capability, but the other two
Are you
do.
or am I?
Oh, I wasn't sure.
Okay.
You want to grab it?
I can do it. Give me a second. I didn't know which one of us was doing because he's like, I can put them up. I'm like, oh crap! I didn't know I was supposed to be paying attention to that. Because
I just saw it pop up and saw the pictures. I just grabbed the Sean one because it was a video, and I download videos super quick.
But that's the wonderful thing about the haunt industry. Even though that we're not in our characters and we're not scaring right at this second, we're still a whole bunch of friends that want to share what we do. And we need all haunters to know that you guys are not alone.
Yeah, I mean, every time me and Pyle go anywhere, we send like 1 million pictures or videos to Fred. Oh, that's an awesome picture. Amazing ass people.
Right.
Oh, that's at the rave, yeah. Yeah, we send stupid little videos to Fred just to brighten his day and fuck with him because, he's family. And, it's just something hunters do,
So, at this point, we are 2 hours and 37 minutes into this first episode.
Yep.
And I feel that this episode has been a very wonderful success. We've got more people watching it. Hopefully you guys come on this journey too.
Yeah.
Because honestly, this is what we want. We want people to get into the industry, look at the industry, and go out and support your local haunts, support your big haunts, support your little ones. There's charity haunts out there. And you know what? Mine's a charity haunt. I don't make any money from it. All the money pays the bill for it to actually physically operate, and then we donate it. And we donate a lot of money, thousands.
And you help a lot of people. That's the most important part of that aspect.
Right.
And you're in the community,
Yeah, and the thing is, there's things that circumstances that come up. Like last night, there was tornadoes in our areas. I'm trying to talk to my field kind of board that we have to get them to see if they want to release money. That way we can help, or if they don't need help, we'll see where else the money can be used.
Yep.
And
actually, during Allied Adventures, we had the Pyle Tornado Watch going because there was people that were worried about you down there. So we were keeping people up to date during the show on how you were doing, and like when you were okay, we let people know that you were okay.
I appreciate that because I'll tell you what, it's having a tornado destroy everything. It's not fun.
Yep.
And
still recovering from that myself. Still,
and I'll tell you, I'm a person that deals with emergency disaster services, so I want to go and help them guys so bad. And there was a possibility I wasn't going to be here tonight, but you know what? I'm here. I'm glad that we got
I'm
this
grateful
show.
you are.
So, are we ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
And-
I can officially say it.
Wait.
Ron.
One second. Congratulations again to Ali Caudill for winning our prize pack of tickets.
Yay, Allie.
Yeah.
Now
Oh
you can
my
go ahead.
Okay. So
You've been waiting so
I
long.
have I've never been able to do this because I've never been the host of one of these shows. Ron, where can we find you?
At your mom's house? No, wait, what?
Say hello to your mother for me.
She found your wallet by the way.
Yeah,
You
it was
left
under
it on the
bed, I
nightstand.
think, where my pants fell.
No.
All right,
My
so-
mom does mother jokes very well.
Oh, wow. You can find me on Facebook under Ronald W. Gillespie Jr. author because I have a new book out, which you actually saw in the Fake Horror Publishing video that Raz played earlier, which I thought was very cool because I had not seen that video yet. And the fact that you included my book and
Yeah,
those
it premiered yesterday
made
or
me
Wednesday.
very happy. And I thought it was so cool.
But did you notice like the placement of like who was in the books near you?
Yeah, I
Like,
saw.
there was groupings. Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
what you thought on that one?
Sherry and you and Patty was there as well.
Jenny was there.
It was there.
Yeah,
So
I had a book
all-
on there too.
all the
Yep.
cool people. Now we're just waiting for Pyle to publish one as well.
We're working on that.
Actually, there's 2 or 3 that's in the work, but one is officially a lot farther than the other one, and another one is coming to me dream by dream.
And then there's a nonfiction one that me and Pyle and Ron are probably going to do together about the hunt industry.
Yeah, I want to do that one because you pitched that one before, and I thought it was a really great idea.
Yep.
And in addition, you can also find me on the now banned TikTok, or I guess, or the House passed the bill to ban TikTok. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but
And
with the time
you
being,
gotta go
That's going
through,
to happen.
gotta go through descendant.
I'm still there on TikTok. You can find me under Wolf Dojo. I am a martial arts instructor. So, of course, the majority of my content on TikTok is all martial arts related. I just recently got my 4th degree black belt, which I'm very happy about. It happened 2 days after my book was published, which it's like the two things happening back to back. Man, I was flying on cloud 9. And where else can you find me? I guess here on YouTube, though I don't put out as much content on YouTube as I do on
When you
TikTok.
say on here YouTube, we're actually broadcasting to like Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Like, a lot of things.
In fact,
I'm not on Twitch. I've never used Twitch. I don't even know how to use Twitch. I wouldn't know how to use Twitch. People keep telling me I need to get on Instagram as well.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, it does. Because she's got little black spots on her. So, like, the
You
whole
can see
green screen
the
thing.
teeth.
His cat is holy.
So
This is Ori. Want to say hi, Ori? I know.
I
she
do
don't wanna
also
be
want to
bothered.
point out
Say
that
hi.
this is actually being streamed on top of everywhere. It is being streamed on Chainers Field of Screams Facebook. This is the only thing that the Elliott Network will have as of right now.
We
It is
have
a
been
charity
getting
hunt,
viewers from your page.
Yeah.
which
Oh,
is
yeah.
awesome. Because, we try doing so many wonderful things with Chainers Field of Screams. It was a hope and a dream a long time ago, and now it's become a reality because it needed to exist.
Yep.
So, my next question is Friday. Dr. Friday. Where can we find you?
Me? You can find me everywhere, apparently. Now, somehow, I've even ended up on your page. But mainly.
Welcome to the
Owlite.
world of Chainer.
Jenny is Legion.
Yay!
There
Exactly.
might be a new Chainer mark made after this. I'm just saying.
Dude, I'm just happy about what you did with my owl. Look at what he did with my owl. Is that not
Yeah.
like the coolest thing ever?
It is awesome.
Because Dell
Love
made
it.
me the most beautiful owl ever, and then he gave it a side. So my owl is rocking it. Thank you, Dell and Pyle. But back to the other. I'm on Fake Horror. I'm on Owlite. I get to be part of the dorkening. Yay! My husband calls me a dork all the time, so why not? I'm also
Emotional
on my
damage.
exactly. I'm on.
She's dorkening everybody else, is what she's doing.
Yes. Jennifer Elliott is my author page, but the page I do more on is Friday's Library in the Blue Box, and Friday's Disorganized Library is my book group. So please, and please read all of our stuff.
Right.
Always.
Okay. Last but not least, and I could not say least enough, Dr. Raz T Slasher.
Because I just found that button.
By accident.
Yeah, lightsaber every
totally
time.
by accident. So yeah, you can find me at RazTSlasher.com. You can find me on all of our very, very many shows. Because if you guys are just tuning in, check out Elliott Network everywhere because we have a lot of different shows, and those shows have a lot of episodes. We have well over 100, like probably closer to 150 or more episodes just on YouTube. So content all across the board, pretty much no matter what you're into, we got it. And if we don't got it, the Dorkening Network has it because we are, again, part of the Dorkening Network. So there's just so much content, man. Like you could live the rest of your life from here on out and still have content to check out, like through all these amazing people that get together, even from Retro Redoctopus, who's also on the Dorkening. But yeah, you can find me in those places online. Coming up, let me find the little logo that I want to throw up here because it's important right now. You're going to be able to find me March 22nd to the 24th at Horror Hound Weekend. That's going to be me and Matt. Pyle's going to be there for a little while.
Yep.
We're going to have all kinds of people there. Michelle, just so many cool people that are going to be down there in Sharonville, Ohio. You're going to want to come down and hang out because not only is Elliott there to cover the guests and the panels, we also want to talk to all the cool people that are just going to the convention because you love horror. So we're going to be doing segments with you guys too while we're there. So it's going to be a great time. And then May 4th, I'm going to be selling copies of my book and promoting Elliott at the Final Boss Con in Ohio. We'll be plugging that a lot more once we get past Horror Hound. Obviously, it's literally 2 weeks after Horror Hound. But we got so much coming up for you guys, so much in store. But yeah, you can find me, like I said, pretty much just everywhere. Just type Raz T Slasher in. You're probably talking to Jenny, but that's okay.
If you want, I'll send you horror memes, and it'll be lovely.
Yes.
If you just message #horror meme, I'll send you something really cool.
Oh yeah, and also I want to thank Pyle for putting this together. I'd been wanting to do a horror show for a while. But the place we came from previously kind of did that, and you know how things can look. So it's awesome that you came on and suggested this and brought us together for this. Like I said, it's this and the horror film industry are the two biggest industries of my entire life and probably will be until I die. So it's always a good time to sit and talk about things you love.
Oh, yeah,
And love
absolutely.
to work, bro.
So, I am Pyle Hazard. I am owner of Chainer's Field of Screams in Botkins, Ohio.
You don't say.
I know, right? Our slogan is, you can find us between a cornfield, a bean field, and a bar because we park you in the back of a tavern.
Indeed.
But you can also find me on Facebook. You can find me on TikTok unless something happens. Shh, no one speaks about it. You can also find me on here on the Elliott Network on not just this show, but many, many shows because I love doing this. I enjoy doing this. And this is the biggest dread. Fertilizer season is coming up. And when fertilizer season comes up, you just might find me doing some of this from my phone in a semi.
Yep.
I don't know. But I absolutely am very thankful for you guys to be on here with me. Help me through this because as you could tell, I couldn't do it without you because I destroyed it in the first 5 seconds.
You're good, though. It turned out great, brother. Like it turned out great.
It was a good show.
Something to be proud of for damn sure.
For the first time, you did great.
It's going to be great. We're going to love it. And I can't wait until we keep on getting this going. And understand, as you watch this show, there are going to be props on this show. And when you see props, there's going to be fake blood.
Oh yeah.
And I will tell you, oh yes, there will be fake blood.
There will be blood.
And then you can give mad props.
You know, I can't
or
wait.
we can put Matt props on the show.
Yeah, there you go.
Give Matt props some mad props.
Yep, exactly.
So I am very thankful for everybody watching our very first episode. It looks like a total success. I don't know, maybe 7 years from now, somebody will be like, hey, I remember that guy. He showed up. Yeah, and then I turned the channel.
Yeah.
So you guys all have a what?
Yeah. I was gonna say also, Brennan said thank you, and thank you, Brandon. Seriously, man, like, thank you for showing up, commenting, hanging out with us. Like, we really appreciate when you guys leave comments because we can interact with you, and all of our shows are pretty much based on interaction.
Yeah,
if you guys have questions
here, even after Mia left,
I know. Brandon's the star. I'll forgive him, for getting in on the Sean action. I forgive you, brother. I forgive.
He wants to get Ponderosa meatballs. That's his goal.
That sounds good.
I know him, and he wants Ponderosa meatballs. He's been bugging me and saying, when I come to Columbus, we need to go Ponderosa. You had your opportunity in Christmas. It was your fault. Anyway, see,
what about me? I live in Columbus.
I call Ponderosa balls April's balls now.
So, let me just say, if you guys have a question on here, please ask the question because we're reading your comments and we really want to interact with these questions because you guys might think of a question that we don't think of. And if you go and you try taking Sean, I will take Crystal. And if Sean's here, I'm coming.
Again,
but no.
Allied After Dark.
So's your mom.
So thank you guys very much for joining us on this almost 3-hour first podcast. It is going to vary by time how long it usually runs.
Like our normal shows, guys. Just buckle in.
Yeah, buckle in, hang on, and just hope that Rob doesn't yell at me for me being down in his basement yelling so much.
Sit here with your 2 liters of Mountain Dew like I do to survive the shows.
I'm
2
a
liters of
cheapo.
cigarettes.
Cheapo right here. Mountain lightning. Ka-chow, ka-chow.
It's mountain lightning. Sorry. I had a great couldn't stop.
And if my doctor's watching, it's diet. I swear it's diet.
It's totally diet. He also eats diet bacon.
Isn't that just turkey bacon?
Oh, shh. We don't question. It's diet bacon. Yes, turkey bacon is diet bacon.
Okay, everybody say bye.
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 Bye.